Hello and welcome back to the Pop Tab Podcast, the podcast that's as sweet as soda for breakfast. I'm one of your hosts, Brent Kruscke, known as the upholder of the unpopular opinion. And joining me, as always, is the ghost host, Jacob Stokes.
Hello.
The Pop Tab Podcast is filmed in front of a live Twitch audience. If you want to watch it, head on over to twitch.tv/realpixel and you can be part of the conversation. And if you want to know when we do go live or when the VODs become available, or if you're just an audio person and want to know where those audio files are, patreon.com/realpixel is the best place to do it. It's where we put all that stuff and any other announcements we do so we can get connected with you and you can stay connected with us. I don't know why I got a little lost in the end where I was going with that. But as we start, always with a little bit of housekeeping. But before we get into housekeeping this time, this is a little different kind of housekeeping. It's a different kind of housekeeping because Stokes is dying over here.
I am parched.
I don't know if this is going to work for you because what this is, it's a special Burger King they're doing right now. I don't know if you've seen, but they have a fiery menu.
Oh, fuck me. Is this a spicy drink?
This is known as the Fiery Strawberry Sprite. So it is a spicy strawberry something mixed with Sprite.
Mixed with is a funny way to put that.
Well, they had to make it. I didn't make this. They were like, cool, we'll get that ready for you. And they made it back there. I didn't see what they did. So it's like a literal mix.
Oh.
That's why I was trying to shake it up a little bit.
That's kind of strange. I was wondering why, you swirling it had me.
Here we go.
Confused.
It doesn't really have anything.
I know. I'm like waiting. I'm like, when's it coming?
It is on the mild side of
I
the
can
fiery.
feel it like towards the back. I figured it'd be a little bit more
wondering
forward. God, the bottom of this is going to taste fucking
That's
crazy.
why I'm wondering. So we'll get through it and maybe we'll see how it goes at the end.
Why is it spicy?
Why is it spicy? So we got a new drink try. It's good though.
Nice. It's just wet on my lips. It's nice.
All right, now actually get into housekeeping. Essentially what we do is, hey, Alchemist. As we go through, we talk about what we're doing for this week for streams. Little bit last minute switcheroos because of alphas, betas, all this different stuff. So the schedule's a little funky, but we're going to try to stick to as close as possible. And just, good idea to get on Patreon right now because this is where we're going to update if it changes throughout the week. But Thursday stream, we're going to start with the new game called Supervive. Stokes got a code to an alpha, got me invited, so we're going to give that a shot. If it works and everything goes okay, we're going to hopefully stick with it and hopefully have a lot of fun with it. If not, we did finally get into the beta for Marvel Rivals, so we could definitely touch on that. Friday, I'll be once again jumping into Elden Ring, so that'll be a lot of fun. I played a lot of Elden Ring, loved it, beat the official first boss, as I was told. I beat
official?
Well, there's... So like, I guess not official.
Is there one of those bosses that they force you to lose on?
I take back the word official. There was a guy that I think was a planned loss, but essentially because it's open world, they throw a guy in front of you. You're not really supposed to be able to beat. You're not supposed to beat.
Okay, like I said, they give you someone to kill you.
Not even like a guy that's like, because you play, you get beat and you die, and then it spawns you somewhere else and there's like story elements. Kind of like Bloodborne kind of did it, but it took you somewhere and then brought you back to then go kill that thing because you didn't have the right weapons at the time.
Sekiro did it though, right?
Yeah. But this was in a sense where you do this fight, you die, you go to a place, and it's like, cool, now here's the whole world. And if you walk down, you walk straight down the path, you run into a guy that I look at and I go, I don't want to fight that guy. So I went around him, and then I started doing like the story because there's like where the quote unquote bonfires. The bonfires in this game.
Yeah, the save points or whatever.
Yep, they point you in the direction where you should be going for the story or for wherever the next point is.
That's really
It's just helpful.
I mean, it's a big world.
It is big.
That's fair.
So I kind of followed that, and that's where I ran into what is kind of determined to be the first boss of the game. According to people in chat like Alchemist and stuff, they helped me go like, is this who I'm supposed to be fighting? Stuff like that.
Nice.
It took me 42 deaths, but I didn't do 42 deaths on him, but 42 deaths through the play so far. I beat him.
I joined and you were at 5, and I don't remember what it was I went to do, but when I came back, you were at like 32. I was like, whoa!
Yeah, so
there must have been a rough patch in here somewhere. Maybe that was the boss.
I fought the boss a lot. The boss was definitely the majority of my deaths, but there were a couple dumb ones. I fell into a hole once because I was just walking over a hill, and I jumped off. I dropped down off the hill, and the drop down off the hill was a hole, and I just died. I went, oh, I wasn't even paying. I was looking out ahead of me. I was like, what's
I guess that
forward?
Counts.
Yeah, so I count that and stuff like that. But the boss was definitely some of the hardest stuff. But I definitely can't wait to get back into it. So more Elden Ring on Friday. Saturday's a little bit up in the air depending on schedules and what we've got going on. Thank you. I appreciate it, Alchemist. I felt like I did okay. I felt like I learned the boss pretty quickly. And then it was a long stream, so I was feeling tired. I'm glad I beat it. But I think if like in a normal sense, if I was just playing, I was like, hey, I'm just going to turn it off for the next 3 hours and then come back. I probably could have done better. But I did end up beating him because I almost got greedy when I did beat him. Like it was like the last little bit of health, did 2 hits. I just needed a 3rd hit, and then I got wham, wham, and I'm like so close to dead. And I stabbed forward and was able to reach him with the point to kill him. Like it was so close. But
that's pretty greedy.
It was very greedy. 42 deaths on him is normal. So see, I'm right in the normal. Not great, not bad. Right in the normal.
These games, I can't believe this is like a mass audience appeal game.
It's so good.
It's just that's wild to me.
Lois took over like over 30. See, I'm right in there. So can't wait to get back into that. So Saturday's up in the air. Sunday will probably be more Elden Ring as well because
it's the Lord's Day.
Well, one, I want to get back into it. I want to keep playing. I don't want to lose a step because with these games, you lose a step, all of a sudden it's going to feel really long.
Sure.
But I don't want to do every stream Elden Ring just because there are a lot of other games I want to touch, want to play, want to do things. And if I get too much of it, I may just be like, okay, we're back again doing the same thing over and over. And some of these streams end up being a little longer. So I like to break it up a little bit, but I am having a lot of fun with Elden Ring. So if anything, there might be Elden Ring on Saturday. We don't know. But what I did find out, Stokes, over the weekend I streamed Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
The total amount of time I streamed for Friday, Saturday, Sunday was about 31 hours.
Wow.
So I streamed a lot. And I learned 2 things. One, I really like streaming. And every day I got done, I started up the next day. I was like, man, I can't wait to play whatever
Go
we're
to 2
playing.
and I'll come back to 1.
2, I think after the 6-hour point, you don't get a return on your investment in time on the entertainment side of streaming. I think I liked playing. I wanted to keep playing. I wanted to be engaged with everybody that was happening. But I think I just get too tired to be as entertaining as I am in hour 1 through 4. 5 to 6 should be the wind down, and I should wrap up around 6. Unless it's like a special thing that we're doing. Like if I had other people around me, if we're doing something in studio or something like that, it can be a little bit longer, yada, yada. But I think from here forward, I'm going to be cutting off kind of around that 6 hour at the longest mark. Probably try to stay closer to 4 just because of entertainment value, my energy level. But if I didn't go to those 10 hours, I wouldn't have gotten. No, actually, I think it was about hour 7 I beat the boss. And then we jumped over to First Descendant for about 3 hours. That was Friday.
Okay.
So
a game switch livened you back up, I'm sure.
Yep. And also, it was me solo for those 7 hours, and then Alec and Bethany got on for First Descendant. So that also helped. Sea of Thieves, though.
So what was the first part? Why did you realize you like streaming again?
Because I got done with the first day, and I went, wow, that was a really long day. And again, 7 hours was just me by myself. People in chat, obviously. Alchemist, everything. Elden Ring might have been a little bit because it has been a long time since I've got my hands on sticks for like a Soulsborne.
For sure.
Long time.
Yeah, very long time.
It felt draining. Then we went and played First Descendant. I could just feel myself not talking as much, not being. Also because that game's just run, click, especially because we're just trying to get through the story at this point now that we're all kind of caught up.
Less engaging.
Yeah. We did a long RuneScape stream. So I felt like
that's a nice checklist. That's nice because it's such a clearly defined thing. You can always be talking about the objective.
Yeah, but I got done with the first day. I went to bed. I went to bed, woke up at 3 a.m. to watch volleyball, watch Japan lose volleyball, sadly. Went back to bed at about 5:30, then woke up again. I'm in like, oh my God, I'm signed up to stream again. And Alex really pumped
I'm signed up.
Alex really pumped
it's like a rec league.
Play RuneScape, and he didn't do it yesterday, so he's going to be high energy. I've got to match him. I hope I got it. Honestly, through about most of it, I was like, dude, I love it. I'm all in. I don't want to say I don't like RuneScape, but it's not my game. It's Alex's game. I'm there to play it with him. And
even as far as you are now, you wouldn't play this by yourself.
No, it's not like
without a goal, without a purpose, without a person.
Exactly. And the more I learn about it, I go, man, it's crazy
like
the people that play this game the way it's supposed to be played.
I mean, like it's the way I'm comfy saying like I didn't like Breath of the Wild, but it's objectively a great game.
Yeah.
Like it is a great game. I just didn't like playing it. It's the same thing as like you're not saying RuneScape is bad.
No.
It's just not for you.
Yeah. So
I mean, to be fair, you play 0 other games like RuneScape.
1,000%.
There is nothing else.
Yeah.
And it's point and click too, right?
Point and click.
Which is you're a WASD player.
I'm a WASD player, and also Alec was like, you can use your left hand. I'm like, for what? It's just everything is clicking. There's no hotkeys. Everything's clicking. He's like, well, you could go
what
through
about abilities?
That's abilities. What do you mean?
Sorry, let me tell you, I don't know fucking anything about this game.
You
just keep talking.
There are prayers and stuff, but it's as far as I'm aware, you click them.
Not
you click
what I
them.
had in mind.
But you can hotkey, quote unquote, spacebar and number through dialogue. That's pretty much about it. That's about the hotkeys you do with your left hand. You spacebar through dialogue and you hit 1 and 2 for options on dialogue. That's about it. But it was during that I was having a blast. Wow. Then again, went to bed, woke up, and I was like, oh man, we're playing Sea of Thieves. We're playing Sea of Thieves. I'm gonna have to run this stream because I'm the one that like usually runs all the menus, do everything for Sea of Thieves. So I'm like, I'm in charge. Yeah. And the whole first 3 hours of streaming Sea of Thieves, I was like, guys, I can't stop thinking about how much I love this game. I just love everything that we're doing right now. It's just so good. Yeah. So the whole weekend, I love streaming. I realized how much I was into it. If I could do it for that long and want to do it the next day, But watching the videos, editing them, getting ready for YouTube and stuff, I was
watched the like time lapse.
I could just see like, you know, where I put in the point here's because I broke up each stream essentially into 3 videos depending on length and stuff. But I was like, here's video 1, here's video 2, here's video 3, and I could see the energy levels. So I think I'm going to adjust the length of stream just for entertainment value because I know I kind of gauged myself where my drop off is.
Are you going to throw yourself an intermission to be like, I think that's a good cutting point? Like you're going to pre-edit it in your mind of like, that's a good edit for video 1. Maybe put up an intermission screen so you can just drag to it.
Yeah, there was luckily I do now when we take breaks for food or anything, I put up a Rule 4 tag on my camera. So,
I saw that, yeah.
So that works out good, so I can find that. And then there's been a couple moments where I'm like, oh, we're playing, and Alex like, hey, you want to hear something cool? And it's always like a flip of a coin. It's either something really cool or something I'm going to hate because it's all RuneScape. And it's like, you want to hear something cool? It's like, sure. And it's like, you've got about 16 hours. Exactly. You've got to get 20,000 more experience before we can do the next thing. And I go, oh, no. But we got to essentially the volcano in the game where the fight caves are, where I have to go earn the fire cape. And I was like, oh my God, really? He's like, yeah. So we'll be back here. And I was like, that's awesome. And we started walking away and I was like, I think that's where the first video is going to end. That's a great point. It was like 4 hours in. I was like, that's a great first video. And that's where I edited it and changed it. So I was like, nice. I can kind of see where the edits are coming now. But I decided I really do like it, which is good.
We knew that.
I know,
but I'm glad you have your reassurance.
But I was actually nervous for Elden Ring because it was the first stream that I was going to do 100% solo in a long, long time. So I was like, do I still like doing it alone? Because when we were doing it here with the drip stuff, that was with other people. When we do stuff in studio, it was party. Like it's always like other people, and I'm like, I love the energy. I know I like that.
Even before that, last week we were playing together remotely. Yeah.
So this was one I turned on the Xbox, I hit play, and it was like, man, I really hope people show up to talk because it's just me going to be talking to myself for the next however long. So luckily, Alchemist, James, a bunch of people showed up, and it really helped me out. So thank you so much, and we're going to get back into it. But yeah, I'm super excited. I think that was all I had for housekeeping. Oh, what we've been watching
maybe
first.
It's just the quality of Elden Ring.
Elden Ring is really good.
You played 3 games over 30 hours. I don't know.
I mean, that's true.
4 games, I guess. First Descendant.
Yeah, First Descendant was thrown in there. I think another thing I realized is until we get to either end game with task, First Descendant shouldn't be something we stream just because it was very much like go to the next mission, go to the next mission, go to the next mission.
I know for me, it would also just be important to have a game that is my full like shut off almost, you know?
Yeah. I can't say Halo will be that because I'm definitely going to do achievement streams and stuff for Halo. Halo Infinite challenges, unless there's like a new thing coming out to try.
Sure.
Just challenges is probably my brain turn off. Let me throw down.
Maybe like to put it into Overwatch, it's like we only do ranked on stream.
Yeah.
So I never play ranked off of stream.
Yeah. Sorry, I just remembered I have Letterboxd now. I got to pull it up.
That's right.
Yeah, we were doing Letterboxd.
Did you log anything recent? Because I've realized if this ends up becoming more of a thing again, if there's anybody who ends up watching and we get regular chatters like normal, they might want to follow my Letterboxd. So I actually was like, I should put a little bit more info on here. So updated my profile a bit, but also I've decided I'm going to tag who I watch all my movies with. Because I also am just really bad at forgetting if we watched a movie together or not. So now I can just, if I click Brent, it'll show me every movie we've watched together. From this point, I'm not going to go back. This is not backwards compatible. I don't even have Sucker Punch.
Do you like add in like an account? Because I downloaded this and I started adding movies, and that's all I've done is heart or no heart on movies.
Oh, that's it.
Okay, but I meant like when you're like I'm going to tag people. Do you do that in the app with their accounts? Like you're going to tag Windows?
Not an account. So if they were to click it, which I don't even know if they can, but maybe I think the tags are just personal sorters, personal folders.
Gotcha. Okay. Just had an interview. That was the first time I had to do an interview online. Such a weird experience, says Cole in the chat.
I imagine like a video chat kind of thing. Also, hello.
Hello, Cole. Yeah, I would. I've done, I don't want to say a lot of interviews because I haven't had that many jobs, but I've done quite a few interviews. I don't think I've ever done one online. We did a business talks and stuff online.
We had regular conversations and stuff. Yeah, but it wasn't not quite an interview.
Not just between us, but like between lenders and stuff. Yeah.
A lot of us is whatever. I'm not going to count Discord.
Yeah. But for business meetings and stuff, that is very strange because it's very hard to like.
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, it's not the best, but it's very tough to do online, especially when you're trying to make a good impression of yourself and almost sell you. It's hard to sell you when you're in a box, literally.
Literally.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So I hope it all went well, Cole. And if you truly want it, I hope you get it. Are you aware you are in the Sea of Thieves category? Son of a gun. I did not. Thank you so much, Zombie. Shantae.
There we go. It's like, wow.
Sorry, I was trying to remember how I get there. All right, let's see.
I very much want to and need the job. It's always unfortunate when jobs take both the want it and need it.
Yep.
Because, I've been denied for plenty of jobs, but if you get one like that and you get denied, oh boy. But of course, that's not going to happen to you because you killed it. I mean, your personality comes out through text chat. Throw a face on there, easy, done, wrapped.
All right, should be updated. Thank you so much, Shantae. Really appreciate it. That was a silly move on my part. Oh, actually, I did have this before we get into Letterboxd.
We're just coming back.
We're just coming back. This is another thing I'm going to start trying for anyone is going to be watching gameplay streams or try to jump in, and you might find it a little weird or strange. So I played with it over the weekend. Essentially, how it works on Twitch is if you do 3 minutes of ads every hour, you don't get pre-roll ads on your video. So
when people click in,
they don't have to watch. They can just start watching. And for any of you out there who's wondering at all, the number one goal right now is just to get more eyes on the channel of everything. So the podcast is going to be a little different. It's harder because we're like in conversation and it's going to be edited out and all this stuff. So that might not have the ads every hour like we plan to. But when I do game streams, I will be trying to do an ad every 3 hours or every 3 minute. I will be trying to do 3 minutes ads every hour. I'm messing it up. 3 minute ads every hour. But when I do that, it'll be, I'm going to get up and stretch. I'm going to get water. I'm going to do bathroom. I'm going to try to do it and avoid missing any gameplay. So if you can't sub, I totally understand. I don't want you to miss anything. But if you can sub, that is awesome. You'll dodge the ads anyway. And there might be some times where I'm like, hey, I got to run an ad. I don't have to do anything right now. I might just pause the game and chat for a second and be like, this is what I'm thinking. This is kind of my mentality right now, but I might not just move the game forward. So you might get a little extra, but that's to hopefully get the pre-roll ads off. So people, when they do click in and watch stream, they can just watch the stream and hopefully we get more people involved. It isn't like, I'm going to run these ads every hour so we can get a ton more money, because it's not going to get us a ton more money. It's not going to get us probably anything.
I would say actually likely anything.
It's just going to help hopefully get more eyes onto the channel. So
if you time it well with potty breaks and all that, then it doesn't really matter.
It shouldn't matter. I'm going to try my best to do that. And it also might just help where I can, hey, I don't sit for 6 hours and then forget to stand up and stretch and my shoulder hurts or something like that. So it is hopefully just to help the channel. It is not to be like, we need money now. So so everyone knows.
I was watching Crokies this morning, the Scotsman. Bloomberg released on Arena today.
Oh, okay.
So I was just like, what are the decks? What are people seeing? What are the things people are excited about? I might start playing more Arena, regardless.
For all the normies out there, Bloomberg is a Magic the Gathering set, and Arena is the digital version of Magic.
Oh, that's true.
I know we just talk about that like it's normal, but there's a lot. We're not in that world anymore.
In our life.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
we're in the world, but
we're in the world, but not in the world.
We're actually like deeper in the world when it comes to Arena and everything.
That's true. Right now, currently, we're not in the world and surrounded by all those
actively.
people.
Yes, true. But anyhow, so the new set releases, and Twitch hit me with an ad. With the phrasing was like this: here are the couple of the decks I'm looking at. He had built them on Moxfield because the set wasn't actually live yet, but he's talking over his decks, and he has one deck that I'm really excited about. That's just a Golgari mid-range thing. It's just up my alley. Shay and I could both learn to play it and really like what we have. Mm-hmm. And he goes, but it's tough because if I had to make one cut ad, I got a 5-minute ad.
Oh.
And when I come back, he's on a different deck. I was like, son of a bitch.
When you said ad, he's like, if I could make one cut, you said ad. I went like he would add a card.
Yeah, add a
I
card.
don't know if that's.
He's like, if I can make one cut, ad break.
I'm gonna add a planes.
But it was just like, man, if I could make a cut, and then just it was like, oh,
That's almost a commercial for signing up for a service. It's like ads really bring
Dude,
down your show.
my mind was like, Croakies and Amy, the Amazonian, they're known for streaming in the mornings. I think Amy does like 9 a.m., but I'm up at 6:30. Croakies is streaming because he's 6 hours ahead of us.
So that would be what, noon his time?
He's at 6-ish. I don't know the exact number, but I think he's 6 hours ahead of us. And so I can always count on him. And I was like, man, should I? Because I'll always be here. Because he's the only one who's live, and I don't want to, But it was funny that my first thought when I got the ad was I should subscribe.
I mean, that is
really though. I think I should just get the boost, whatever it's called.
That's the thing. The best thing is
we're here, but
to sign up for the Twitch so you don't get ads
Turbo?
anywhere.
No, that's Nitro is Discord.
Nitro's Discord. All the different names, but yeah. So that, but yeah, I've definitely had some where it's like, Twitch Turbo.
I had it right.
Yep.
Okay.
Discord Nitro, and then
Discord Nitro is one I've been actually thinking I should.
So because of the day job, editing the content I do for Mr. Cover Go Blue.
Mr. Blue.
I believe I have Discord Nitro just because I had to send certain file sizes. And I was like, I need this at one point. And I might have needed it at one point. I need to unsubscribe immediately, or I just signed up and forgot I had it just so I have it. I cannot remember.
The most I ever want to use it for is sending like emotes from other creators and whatever. Is just I feel like using them all over the place.
Yeah, I can do that. So I definitely must have it.
Yeah.
But I definitely didn't sign.
They're like
I signed up
locked
for
to
it for
channels
specifically file size for the job.
The job.
So, but anyway, Letterboxd. I got some movies I watched. Well, there's one that we're going to talk about probably the most, but let me get through these other ones. So I have 4 movies in my Letterboxd.
Okay.
Twisters.
Yep.
I gave it no heart. That way, I guess we saw that after the last show. So we went and saw Twisters, right?
Oh, after the last episode.
Podcast,
Yeah. No, it was the day after.
Yeah. So we went and saw Twisters. I did not give that a heart.
I gave it a heart.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious about what you just keep going. I like hearing that.
My review of Twisters was I felt like
we're sticking with Twisters.
Just real quick, I felt like I was rooting for the wrong people the entire movie, and I felt very confused.
Like they made you root for the wrong people.
Yeah.
Or?
Like I was like I really want to be on that guy's side, but keeps getting framed in the bad guy light, and I don't know why.
Oh, Javi?
Yeah.
I don't think he was ever framed in the bad guy light.
I just felt like that was what they were trying to get me to do.
He seemed like someone who really didn't feel the this is bad.
Right.
He's like his argument was he was helping people. Like he really thought he was helping people. And
he
at
was.
every instance that someone could be helped, like physically, I mean.
Yeah.
He was also there. He was there in every instance she was helping people.
Right.
The one time he wasn't, she stole his truck.
Yeah.
Right? Afterwards, but it was like they weren't even in the same town.
But the only reason they were able to help people is because of what he did.
Able to help people.
Because it was his research. Yeah. It's literally always him. I don't know why he's at all. Their research is framed as
his scan made the better model.
Made the whole movie. It's crazy. Twisters, insane.
I don't think he was ever made to be the villain ever.
Really? That's all it felt like because it was like.
So okay. Also, I've watched this movie twice now. So I've logged it twice, and then we have another movie we both logged together. But
then it was like gotta like the good old American boy because he's cool.
No, it did have a very good old American boy. I mean, there was a lot of buckle.
A lot of buckle
in that movie. I was like, dang, they're really dressing these people
Even
up.
They're like you want to see this guy come down to earth? Let's go to the rodeo and watch people hurt animals. I'm like, man, I really do not want to be on this guy's side. This is not what I care about at all.
That's just being full anti-rodeo, but that's like its own thing. You can't blame him for going to a rodeo.
I can blame him. He made the choice.
She went to the rodeo and loved it. She said it's not her first rodeo.
I know. Shame. I mean, she's not I don't want to root for her either. Because every time she made a choice, it hurt more people. Besides the very end. Actually, no. At the very end, she did hurt more people. Because if it was like, hey, we need to go help these people. And it's like, well, if you didn't, I don't want to spoil the ending, but it's like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
literally like a choice she makes. And it's like you hurt more people doing this choice instead of just doing the other choice.
Maybe.
Anyway,
Maybe. I'm on her side. Shit, I'm on his side. Not at the beginning, of course, because he has to has his own little
His whole
arc.
thing.
But, yeah,
but
I love that movie.
to confirm what we said,
got
in
my
our-
heart- it got my
was
heart twice.
Was it our first podcast?
Actually,
no
I don't
message in that movie.
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, actually, there is.
There is, but no
But
political, whatever you want to say, a message. And then I watched, I rewatched. This is something I watched in the past, but I marked it as a heart because I'm starting fresh now. I watched The Accountant with Ben Affleck because there's a
Prepping for the
coming.
sequel.
Yeah, and I was like, I watched this movie. I think I liked it. I don't know if I think it needs a
Cole,
sequel.
I can't tell you that. Okay, Brent can tell you that.
I didn't say anything. The Accountant, I liked it. I don't know if I liked it more the second time because I don't really remember anything from watching it the first time. But watching it the second time, I
When
liked
did
it.
that come out?
That was good. 2016.
16?
Yep.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah. That's what I'm
I
saying.
would
I'm
have guessed late 18.
like, right? So 2016 it came
I mean,
out.
I've never seen it though, so
And
I couldn't tie it to my life.
it's a good one.
moments
I
I
think
can
I
remember
like. I think I like the world that they're building in it, and it definitely. When you're like, I'm like, I don't know if it needs a sequel. And I watch it and I go, okay, I guess they did kind of set up a world for a sequel, but it could have also been a world set up that, hey, this is going to continue on after this movie, but you're not going to see it. We just did the groundwork for you to know it goes on. But I am kind of excited to see where it goes now. I also just like Ben Affleck, and there's so many. There's a lot of good people in it.
Just
I'm just
click it.
blanking on it.
You've got
it's
it right there.
there?
And then you got to click the movie. This is like your entry.
Oh, okay.
Clicking the movie will take you to like the IMDb page of sorts.
Where's the actors?
Right
Oh, we're
there.
here.
Yep, big cast list.
You got Ben Affleck, Anna Kendrick, J.K. Simmons, John Bernthal.
Why none of those names came to your mind?
No, well, because here's
That's
the thing.
crazy.
Here's the thing. They all popped into my mind, so I was like, where do I want to start? Because like, what's the level of importance? John Lithgow. Like, there's like so many good people in this movie that I'm like,
That's
wow.
a lot of great names.
I didn't know
That
these.
just evaded you.
Yes. So I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Okay. That's good. Who directed that? He directed it, right?
No, Gavin O'Connor directed it. Can I click on his name and see what he's done?
Look at you go, dude. You're
Look at
figuring
that.
out this app
I'm
in
figuring
real
out the app.
time.
He did Warrior,
I've heard of it.
The Way Back. He did Miracle.
Oh, I like The Way Back.
No, are you thinking The Way Back or The Way Back?
Oh, no. I'm thinking The Way Back.
Yeah.
The Way Back is the Ben Affleck basketball movie.
which
Yeah.
is also good. But
I've
I knew
heard.
you weren't thinking about it.
I've heard.
you
yeah.
were thinking of that one.
But I also should have seen the through line there of like
Yes.
the other sports movies.
Miracle, he did, which
It's
was really
crazy
good.
that he did those 3 sports movies and then was like, how about The Accountant?
Yeah,
Ben must have been like, I like you a lot. You're my new guy.
you're my new guy.
I'm going to put you under my muscly Batman
When I don't
wing.
want to step in the director's chair and act, I just want to act. You can do the chair for
Yeah.
me.
When I want to produce and get the Oscar for Best Picture, which did not happen for there, but
And then I rewatched Bad Boys 2, which is the perfect action movie. Everyone knows.
did
it.
you
It's
did you sit
fantastic.
down, put it on, and watch it, do nothing else, or did you have it on while doing something?
I had it
Because that's the perfect have it on while you're doing something level of movie.
What was I doing?
Unless you've never seen it, then you should sit and watch it. But
I was doing something, but I watched a lot of it. So I think it had to be something video related where I was putting stuff, and hit export and would watch it while it exported for 25 minutes, do something else, hit export, watch
I
it,
gotcha.
stuff like that. So Bad Boys 1 and 2 are awesome. Bad Boys 2, crazy. Like Bad Boys 1 isn't bad, but it's crazy how much better Bad Boys 2 is than 1. That rarely happens. But Bad Boys 2, I think, is just objectively better. It's crazy.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Did you have any other movies before we get to the big one that we went and saw?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, watching Twisters twice was enough.
That was definitely enough. Some may say too many.
No, dude, I'm telling you, like the fact that I could almost just disassociate the second time around and not have to learn a new story, it made it so much better.
Hey, you know what? If Bethany's like, hey, I want to watch this movie, I'm going to watch it again, but I don't care to.
We had because it was the weekend of Deadpool, Wolverine.
Spoilers, that's what we saw. God.
It was the day after.
Day after Deadpool. Okay.
So I guess
Friday?
day after we went, so it was Friday.
Okay.
It's release day. We have to go park in like the other parking lot because there's no spots available. People are parked on the grass for this.
For Deadpool and Wolverine.
For Deadpool Wolverine.
But you
we
went to
go
Twisters.
in, we go into Twisters. It's full.
What, really?
I was like, what the fuck are you people doing here? Is Deadpool sold out and you guys just didn't want to go home? I didn't ask anyone, of course, but I'm like, there's a group of 17-year-olds in here. What are you doing here?
I was gonna say,
why are you here?
There was
I
like
was so
15
confused.
other people in our theater, right?
We had to sit like. My mom actually ended up she's not a front row person. The F where we sit, it wasn't an IMAX, so it wasn't labeled, but it was like that spot.
Yeah.
But we sat in essentially that spot, and she was like, "Well, this is fantastic. I'm sitting here forever now."
Oh, that's
so
cool.
she took to it, which is great. But that was the only seat that had. I think there were 5 of us. It was like even if you considered all edges, there wasn't a 5-seater anywhere. I was like, "What is happening?"
Are movie theaters back? Is that just what we're finding out? Are they just back?
Let's take COVID out of this before I say my next statement.
Okay.
They were never gone.
Oh god, whatever.
Okay, COVID.
It's
a phantom.
I'm not gonna lie, they were gone. They were gone even before COVID.
No.
They
Dude,
needed to
you
start.
just need a
giving
good old
more.
American Glenn Powell to bring everybody back and to lasso them back in, dude.
Damn it. So we went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine as well. And we're gonna talk about it. We're not gonna spoil anything,
Not a damn thing.
except for if you're on the internet, it's probably already been spoiled for you. And I apologize to anyone who got anything spoiled from the movie.
I've still seen nothing.
Oh, really? Well, maybe because I'm
the
not.
closest thing is the intro credit has a little dance number. I saw something from the guy who was the person in the suit.
Yep.
And he's like, "This is crazy. Here's how I got this role."
Yep.
But that's the only thing, and that's like intro minutes.
Maybe
spoilers.
because I'm not like avoiding it now, but I keep getting the like stills from the movie where I'm like, this isn't a picture in a
What are you
theater.
seeing it
store
on?
this Twitter,
Are you
TikTok?
You must not be
Instagram?
on the followed section. You
No,
must
I
be
am.
on the For You. Who do you follow that's posting these stills?
There's one.
Unfollow those people.
There's one specific that. There's a specific reason why he does it for this movie, and I can't give it because it's a spoiler. But
Is it a meme?
no,
The guy's just sharing photos.
The guy's profile picture is something that I'm like, oh, you would like Deadpool and Wolverine, and then the thing happens. He's like, I can't believe I'm so happy, and I'm like, that makes sense. I see why you're sharing this because you were over the moon that this happened.
Okay,
and you
but
did not expect
that's
it.
it. Because you're saying you're seeing a lot of spoilers.
Yeah. Well, also now when I'm on TikTok and stuff like that, when I see the person that's like, "Hey, talking about Deadpool, spoilers," I go, "Cool, I'm going to listen to this now." It's not like it's getting spoiled for me. I'm going and seeing the spoilers, but I'm scrolling through everything and being like, "I am clicking on this, and I have so many things to click on." And I think one of my new favorite things. I want to get into it after how we think what we think of the movie. But I think there's an interesting thing happening with this movie where there's the perfect level of there's people that are lost because of them seeing almost too much and not enough at the same time. And I think it's really funny. But
that's
real quick,
interesting.
yeah, I haven't seen anything either surprisingly except a funny name in the credits. So that's good, Cole. I don't want anything spoiled for anybody because I think this movie's got some great things that could be spoiled, but they shouldn't be because that's what the enjoyment of those things are.
It's also funny because I think it would be impossible to spoil the movie because there's so many things that would need to be spoiled for you that it's just like, how could that? I would need a scroll to start spoiling things for you.
Yeah,
it's just the whole movie's like a meta inside joke.
Yeah,
right.
so
So it's just
I always bring up that
if there's a cameo, if there's a song, if there's a dance, it's just like it's everywhere.
In Fast 10, one of the big moments at the end got spoiled for me because
sad.
I was looking and I was like, what is this? What's going on? And then I saw it and I went, oh, shoot, I know what this is. Scroll away. You couldn't have that for this movie because there's just so many. They couldn't show you all of them all at once like that. So
even then, you still had one moment of surprise.
I did have one moment of surprise.
Because they just
kept going.
Head body.
Head body. But I think Deadpool and Wolverine was fantastic. Like it was hard to go into that movie with like too high of expectations or not off because I was always like, I don't know what this could be. I don't know how this misses, but also it's like Marvel
I don't know how it misses, but you're right. We've had ones that we've
had misses.
How does it miss? Well,
they miss.
I guess like that.
Yeah. So, but I thought this movie did great. I think there are a lot of people out there talking about different plot holes and it's messy and this and that. And I was like, I don't care about any of that. That's not why I went to a Deadpool movie. Like, I don't go to Deadpool movie for the perfect character arcs, really. You know what I mean? Like, it's not anything. It's I went to Deadpool and Wolverine to see Deadpool and Wolverine on screen together, and I got more than I bargained for with other people I got to see on screen together. And I was like, this is what I wanted. This is perfect. This is great.
Yeah, I wouldn't change a thing.
I would sit for another 2 hours in that movie if they just kept doing the same thing.
I wonder if there's going to be anything unique on the Blu-ray that's going to be worth, purchasing it just for those things.
I know...
Because I don't think I own a single Marvel movie.
Really?
Really. Like, I own the Blade trilogy.
Not even, not even from like way back. Not like
Well,
way back.
I just said one way back.
I'm sorry, not like Blade.
I literally
meant, like,
tried going to the beginning, and I was like, I guess I got Blade.
Well, you got Spider-Man.
I gave you Spider-Man.
Oh, the 4K. Oh,
Yeah.
you did give me Spider-Man.
Which I now have at my house.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have it there for the Plex.
I have your movies, but
no one goes to Deadpool for a cohesive story. They go there to have fun. It's a story almost designed.
You still get a cohesive.
Oh yeah,
story,
the story is not.
It's anyone. I don't. Whatever a plot hole is like. Sure, man.
I think this is the thing is, I follow mostly because I like to like hear what people are saying about movies, and they're usually people I'm like I would never be able to have a conversation with them about movies because it's always like
Those are the people you follow.
No, I guess I do follow them, but I follow like so many people on TikTok just because I was like I want to see them again. I want them to pop up again. I don't go and look at their content. I just want them to pop up as I scroll through again.
Sure.
Just to see what they're saying about this.
You can just watch what you've.
Yeah, what you follow. Yeah, exactly.
Just make sure you know that. But go ahead.
But that's so I follow them. That's why they pop up again, right?
Oh, you don't. Well, because if you follow them, you'll also get them in your For You page.
Yeah. Well,
but
if
you're
I
saying
go
pop up instead of.
If I go over to the For You, I scroll
you.
through and be like, oh, I want these guys to pop up again. I might not agree with everything they're saying, but I'm interested to know what they're saying about things.
Okay. That's fair.
And that's a mix.
I have one of the only Patreon I'm subscribed to for Cash Money is
Cash
someone
Money.
who I like 50-50 am with them.
Yeah.
But it's just like you can't understand half the takes.
Yeah. There's been some that I'm like, wow, I can't believe people like really dive into these different things. But they're bringing up a lot of things where it's like, it's when they're comparing it to like, do you like this more than Endgame? It's like, what are we even talking? What does it even matter? Why is that a conversation? Oh yeah, sure, they're both Marvel movies, but they're completely different things. I don't know why they're trying to compare them. But for me, Deadpool and Wolverine was exactly what I wanted it to be, and I got more than I thought I was going to get.
Yeah.
100% happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds exactly right.
Cool. So getting into why people I think is funny. So without any spoilers, we know if you've seen the trailers. I guess if you haven't seen the trailers, there might be spoilers. But there's the TVA, right?
Yep.
In this movie, and it's like organized around TVA.
Yep.
People are confused because of the timeline of movies where they're like, Deadpool takes place in this year, and we know Wolverine's in this movie, and the last Wolverine movie was Logan. Logan takes place in this year,
like the forward,
which is in the future, and then people are seeing this movie and they go, how do these two interact because of the year difference? And I was like, oh, you saw enough to watch all the Deadpools, the Logans and stuff, but you didn't watch enough to watch the TVA to know time it happens all at the exact same time for the TVA. So it's not like past and present, future for them. It's all at the same time. But you're confused by that because you didn't know the TVA, but you watched enough to know that these other movies are at different times. You know what I mean? Like if they hadn't seen Logan, like Bethany, after we got done with the movie, I was like, Bethany, were you confused by the TVA or anything? She's like, no, I think I kind of understood. I was like, I thought so because you didn't see Logan, you didn't see the other movies
didn't
that
see
would have
Loki.
You
season
didn't,
one,
you
probably,
didn't see the timeline enough to know that it was weird, but you also didn't see all of it to know why it all makes sense. But there's people in the middle that watched all the movies but didn't watch the TV shows. They're like, I don't get it, and I'm like, this might be one of the few times that this happens.
They talk about. I mean, isn't the Deadpool we have from the Logan we have like that timeline?
Yes. But
that Deadpool already knows how Logan. I mean, in the movie Logan, he dies at the end.
Yes.
Sorry.
Spoilers for
I'm not
Logan,
just using
not
his,
Marvel.
I'm not using his first name. I'm using the cinema
title,
the term of his yes.
But it's because Deadpool and Wolverine, I think, takes place in 2024. Like it's a modern day thing.
The movie we watched is 2024.
And X-Men are alive. You got Negasonic, Teenage Warhead,
sure.
Colossus, people that have been in the other ones.
The James McAvoy universe,
correct
stuff. Yeah.
But
Logan
takes place in 2029.
But it's interesting because this Deadpool knows that Logan's dead, right? Before the TVA.
No.
Yeah, because he punches he's impaled on the stick. And whatever. I thought it was like canonically he already knew he was dead. Again, I don't care.
Well, Deadpool...
Because Deadpool knows everything because he can look at the camera and talk to us.
Exactly. You mean in previous Deadpools or in this Deadpool?
Same Deadpool, right?
Well, I meant in the third movie, in this one, Deadpool and Wolverine, the scene you're talking about is like a Tarantino where it's from here, but you saw it here, and then you see this middle part, and then we jump back to it. You know what I'm saying?
No, not the beginning. I'm not talking about this movie at all. In the second movie.
In the second movie, yes, he does
pushes
do that.
the little toy which is so funny.
Yes, that's where it's
yeah, and I know the backward forward of this.
1,000%. That's the thing is like, it's already explained. One, it didn't even have to be explained because it could just be
who
Deadpool.
cares?
Deadpool explains everything.
Yeah, because he can jump from panel to panel.
Exactly.
Like because
he interacts with the camera. Like he doesn't matter. So, but it's funny that people are like, I'm so confused, and most of them, like I've seen like 3 or 4 people try to explain it.
God,
or try to be confused.
I just remembered a joke that I had completely forgotten about. That's fucking hilarious.
But usually, what happens at the end of the whatever, people go. So I've watched Logan and the Deadpool movies and nothing else. Am I going to be confused? Cole, I don't think so.
Not even a little bit.
And even if you are, it's not like you're confused. It's like you'll get done with the movie and be like, wait a minute, that's kind of weird. And everybody I've heard complain about this usually ends their whatever video or tweet or whatever is like, this didn't deter the movie from me. I still love the movie. I just think it's weird. And I went, well, if you think it's that weird, maybe instead of making this video or making this tweet, you just do a quick Google about, I don't know, all the content you missed on Disney Plus, and maybe it would explain a little bit of why you're confused. It's like the people that Google on Facebook.
No. What?
You know, instead of going like, hey, go to Google, and they try to find an answer, they just type into Facebook, hey, how do I do this? And people just answer them. You ever seen that? It's like that. It's like
Google
if you could
quotes
just
on Facebook.
If you could just Google.
And
I don't think you'll be confused, Cole. It's not that confusing. It's just that the TVA, if you have not watched anything with Loki or anything associated with the TVA, their presence may be confusing to you because you just don't know how they work, which is essentially they exist outside of time. If you know that, you're good. Did you have something?
I did.
Okay. You want to go try to find it?
Oh, it was about yes. It was saying like people on Instagram that do the ones that are like, I like to ride my boyfriend's car. Now change the C for a V. Have you ever seen those? But then you're like, what? Like,
No.
or they misspell a word that's like super common in their, like,
Is it just
their
to
text
get
that like
is it
floats
just
above
to
them?
get
100%.
comments?
Well,
Oh.
that's what I'm saying. They're like farms. For
Right.
people who are like, I'm going to post a video that's only a second and a half long, so it loops 150 times. You know,
And
but
people are just typing comments?
or it's the thirst traps that are like where they flash an image and it's like, can you stop the
Stop it,
image?
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, I got to watch this video like 18 times. You know,
Yeah.
it's all of those things that it's the same mental of why people are just like, I'm going to say everybody loves this movie. I'm going to tell them why I hate this one part. You know,
And I could see that this is just people being like, I want to get engagement because it's the new movie. But I had the same question because I left the theater and I asked Bethany. I was like, hey, Bethany, were you confused by, because I know what you have and haven't
well,
watched.
you were asking for her.
For her. So when she was like, no, I was good. I was like, cool. Then I heard people are confused. I was like, oh, okay. So I wasn't crazy for having the concern that she might have been confused, but she wasn't.
My biggest concern would just be that there's a lot of jokes and existences of things and people that are entirely reliant on just your understanding of the filmmaking process of Marvel.
Filmmaking, Marvel movies, pre-MCU stuff.
Directors, actors, what else have they been in? Like
Marriages, divorces. Like there's so much stuff.
so many things
That
that
I'm
I'm like, how do you...
There's a lot of jokes.
Like, yeah, well, and there's a joke that's like, oh, that's funny because he said Gilmore Girls out loud.
Yeah.
And that, or was it Gilmore Girls? No, it was Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl.
That's what I meant, Gossip Girl. He says Gossip Girl, but then you're like, oh, Blake Lively was on Gossip Girl. Like, there's another level to all of the, you know, it's just, it's the whole movie is like 3 levels deep, not intelligence-based 3 levels deep.
No.
It's just like, you don't, like, sure, it's funny to see this thing exist, but I'm laughing because I know that it was something they actually tried to make exist seriously.
Yes.
But now it's here in front of me as a joke.
Yes. While we're on the topic of superheroes, Cole asks, when do you think Punisher is coming back?
Hasn't he? I think he's been co-opted by a certain group enough that maybe he shouldn't.
Well, so
Let me tell you about Marvel Rivals, because he's already back in that.
I'm curious to see what the next Spider-Man movie looks like. Because once we start seeing what that looks like, it might give me a better idea.
And we'll get to it in the future, but they didn't even announce anything
They didn't.
related to it. So,
But I think that him being street level, possibly tying into Daredevil, may tie in Punisher, and we might get him that way. I don't know if we'll get another show or movie for the Punisher for a while, just because I don't think that's the hero people want to see right now, which I get. It's kind of a tricky time to do that hero the way he should be done. But it's not the time for that kind of hero in the world we live in right now. So I could see us not getting a Punisher thing for a while, but he may be in, or what's the Punisher's like real name?
John Bernthal?
No, the character.
The middle name?
Yeah, the middle name. Not John Bernthal, not the Punisher, right in the middle.
I don't know.
I forget his name. I keep thinking Mark, but it's because
John.
of whatever his real
John
name is.
Bernthal's
We might
again.
get him. That the real person character within
Frank?
the movie, Frank Castle.
I got there. I did not look that up for audio listener. That was me just remembering.
I think we might get Frank Castle maybe mentioned or seen somewhere, but I don't think we get the Punisher for a while.
Because who gives a shit, Because Black Knight should be coming up soon, right? Like
Black Knight. Oh, I heard there was a Blade movie coming somewhere. I don't know when.
Yeah, right.
I heard. What's another one? Oh, I guess they did talk about the Thunderbolts at Comic-Con. So that was another one. I was like, is that still happening? It is apparently.
Got a trailer, I think.
A trailer? I don't think so. Like
at
the con, but it didn't release. I was like,
see it.
I looked for trailers. I didn't think. Punisher's my boy. Hey, Cole, if it has been too long, go back and watch the movie because I just think it still holds up. It's so good. It's weird that John Travolta's the bad guy, and the way that movie ends with the kill scene of him being chased down by it.
Like in the parking lot or whatever? Right?
Yeah, and like the theater. It's just a parking lot, but it's like all the cars are blowing up around. It's just crazy. Oh, no, he's not being chased. He's being dragged by the car, right? I think he's being dragged by a car, and everything's lighting on fire, exploding around. It's just crazy nonsense, but man, what a great ride. This is
I loved that movie.
A perfect snapshot
it's
of what
weird,
movies were right then.
Yeah,
It's so good.
It's that weird dark, everything's dark, super dark tone.
Oh man, what a great time. I would like to see more Punisher, but I just don't think it's time for it. And I think like Black Knight or other heroes should have a chance to get up front and do something, get a movie, get a story. I really don't think we'll ever get Black Knight. We were this close.
I'm joking about really all of it because there's very little I care about.
I know.
For Marvel.
Well,
I'm just at this point. I'm not trying to like manifest anymore. I'm trying to. Oh, I hope they do this. I hope. Whatever. Just give me what you give me, and I'll slop it out the trough like a pig.
Yep. That was the thing is
terrible.
Deadpool and Wolverine. I went in thinking, oh, are they going to explain to me why I want to go to the next Marvel movie? And they didn't, which I think it was better a better movie for that. They didn't go, hey, why you want to show up next time for Marvel is this. They didn't do that, which I think the movie's better for. Mm-hmm. So not that it didn't do anything for the Marvel universe. It just didn't go, here's the trailer for our next movie. They didn't do that, which is great. All right, we're an hour in already. Luckily, there's not
That's
a ton
how it always
of news.
goes when we talk about things we've watched.
I know. Luckily, there's not a ton of like game news or anything. So really, we did a big chunk of the stuff right up front, and probably the more enjoyable stuff, more fun stuff. Real quick, speaking on Deadpool, the box office mojo number was about $205 million for the weekend, opened up in 4,200 theaters, which in my head, 4,200 theaters seems like a low number of theaters.
Really?
It just seems like in my head, I was like,
you're just like, how does that math actually work out?
Yeah, but then I start thinking, there's 50 states. How many theaters are in Michigan? I was trying to do the math that way, and I was like, I guess it's
That's
not
kinda
that
fun.
I guess it's not that
fun way to
few,
think
but
of it.
I thought it was lower than I thought it was going to be, just because of I don't know. But then, because then you can even get more smaller. It's like, well, it did 205, but it's got to make this much money per seat. How many theaters are showing it? How many 18 screen? Like all
so
that
that's
stuff.
that's what I was going to ask. I don't know because you did Box Office Mojo. I did something charts, moviecharts.com or something. I liked it because it actually showed you how much the movie made per theater.
Oh, okay.
Which is an interesting number. It's $48,000 per theater.
Per theater.
Which is interesting to me because I'm going, that's $48,000. That must be after the cut, right? It's not just like total value of tickets sold, like the box office, right? It's like the money they made.
The money that the theater made or the company?
Company.
Well, the company makes a majority of the money on the ticket.
Yeah, I mean, and I know that depreciates and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I'm also, it's like, even if that number's 20%, right? Well, all of a sudden, it was $60,000. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I mean, it would be like, it's like 95% of the ticket goes to the theater.
Yeah,
It goes
week
to
one.
the,
Week
yeah,
one.
goes to the company, but still, Yeah, I'm just trying to think because I think if I remember right, which has been a long time, I think like the theater I worked at, its biggest theater sat 320.
320?
320 people.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like a small theater was
The
like
Extreme set that much?
No, I didn't have the Extreme. That was like theater 1 and 18 did that much. I think it was
wow.
I think it had 320 seats, but we did like sold out at like 310. So we were always supposed to have 10 extra seats. It never worked out that way, and no one could explain to me why. And they were like, people just must be sneaking in. And I was like, I get that. But you're telling me every show that's sold out, we have 10 people sneaking in? That seems like a crazy number to have every time. And when I would do shows where Twilight sold out every theater, and that means we have 10 extra seats in almost every theater, and you're telling me all that many people snuck into it. What's wrong here? What are we doing wrong then? It was crazy. But anyway, I think the small theater was like 140, if I remember right. Maybe not 320, maybe 280. It was somewhere in there. But
yeah, it's still wild to me that $50,000 is being made on a weekend per theater by movie. And that's just on average, of course.
Yeah. But good for them. I think it deserves some money. It's getting a lot of praise, which is great. We got some trailers to get through. We like our last show, the first show we watched trailers. Thought there was a lot of dead time, a lot of blah 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 time. You know what I'm saying? There was just like a lot of where it's like we're just sitting here watching. You're sitting us. It's like a watch.
Yes.
Something fell over there. So we have the trailers. We're gonna put them up in the background. They're gonna be muted, and we're just gonna talk about them. So we can keep the kind of conversation going. And I think this is probably gonna be the way we go about it. But obviously first. We've got to go and get into our theater. Boom. There we go. We just do a little, whoa. Yeah, whoa. So then we go over to the watch screen. We're out of the theater anyway.
Fuck. Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
But then this is the 4:30 movie, the new Kevin Smith trailer. So if anyone doesn't know, I am a very, very, very big Kevin Smith fan. I've watched everything he's done a lot. I've gone to shows. I've gone to Q&As. I've done a lot of stuff with Kevin Smith. This is a movie I was actually really interested in because when I did short films, I made a short film inside of a movie theater. The Kevin Smith that was inspired by Kevin Smith and Clerks, and now they're like, yeah, exactly. I wear my hat backwards, exactly like Kevin Smith. And so when he was like, "I'm going to make a movie,"
he's also outside of the podcast, damn near silent.
Yeah, I only talk here. I only talk when a camera's rolling.
He saves it. He saves it.
I'm Silent Bob. So I was excited to watch this trailer, and then the trailer happened. I'm not saying it's a bad trailer. The first thing that comes to me is I hate this weird glowy effect they do on to make the movies look older.
The like 70s, 80s Vaseline.
Yes. It just looks gross to me. I don't like it. It was like one of those things that I was like, I could see that. I was like, oh, I do like that look when they did it the first time. But it's like, why is he glowing? Like he's just got his shirt on. It's like he's glowy.
For me, it's interesting because there's just such an interesting depth of field across this whole trailer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, wow, I don't remember movies being shot like this in the 80s. So I think that's like, it's almost just a different filmmaking choice outside of whatever post work they're doing to give the glow.
Yeah.
You know?
It's such a weird thing.
Why is that kid's face so soft? You know what I mean? Uh-huh. Like, what makeup they put on this kid?
The effects is really weird. It is interesting. Kevin Smith's making the movie at the movie theater he owns. Now he bought his movie theater in Red Bank, New Jersey. It's all cool. I think the story could be fun. I think I'm going to have a hard time watching
theater, bro.
What?
To own a theater.
Hard time to own a theater. Yeah, it's going to, weird choice to make. But
I mean, nothing to do with that. I'm sure he's plenty fine that he could just sink money and do it forever and ever.
Right.
For me, I'm just saying, to own a theater would be so cool.
Would be cool. I think
there's one for sale nearby, Brent. I'm just throwing it out of there.
Oh, okay. We want to get on another business loan? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, except this time it's going to be 8 times as much. How do you feel?
Sure, dude. Debt's debt. Doesn't matter how big or how small.
Oof. We'll work on that later, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
So I think, Justin Long here at the end, I think has one of the best jokes.
It was logic.
The other best joke in this trailer is there's a part where it says from writer and director Kevin Smith, and he lists his movies, and at the very end it goes, and probably Clerks 4. I don't think he's going to make Clerks 4. I don't want him to make Clerks 4. I think Clerks 3 was a perfect ending. I cried. It was beautiful. If he goes, hey, I'm making Clerks 4, I don't know what that movie's about. And I would be, it's like what's our always go to? What, am I not going to watch it?
What am I going to do? Not watch it?
What am I going to do? Not watch it? But it would be very weird. But I still think the joke's really funny. I am definitely going to see this movie. It did not grab me as much as I thought it was going to when I heard he was doing this movie. And I think maybe because I don't like how many faces I recognize in the movie. I wish it was more people I didn't know. Like, I feel like there were faces.
At least the faces you recognize are his friends.
Yeah, which is cool.
It's just his friends are becoming more famous too. So,
but I remember when I went and saw the touring shows of Red State.
Yeah,
and it was his first movie not outside of the View Askew because he did it, but one of the big movies outside of View Askew that he did on his own. It was kind of a smaller budget thing, yada yada. And it was like, I know there's certain faces that I recognize because I know Kevin Smith really well. But overall, there had a lot of new faces that I had not seen do stuff before. It wasn't, I'm going to grab this guy from this guy from this, get time from this. We're all going to do friends. We're all going to do the thing. I don't really like when they do that, but I don't think it's going to take me out of this movie if the movie can grab me. I just was not sold on the trailer.
If I were a director, I would do that.
Just grab all your friends?
Assuming that they're good at what they're doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which, in his case, they are.
Totally.
But
it makes sense.
It's the Michael Caine's in every Nolan movie.
Yeah.
Or him and Cillian Murphy, or just the friends he's got. Like, I just like seeing that happen. Why can't I think of his name? Oh my God. Haunting of Hill House.
Mike Flanagan.
Mike Flanagan.
There you
I
are.
wanted to call him Michael.
I was like,
I lost his last name when I wanted to call him Michael.
Okay.
Michael
Flanagan.
Michael M. Flanagan. I don't know his middle name. So M for middle.
I don't even know if
M for
Michael's
middle
really-
came to mind.
M for Michael Middle Flanagan. That's a tough thing to say too fast.
Michael Middle Flanagan.
Anyway,
he does the same thing, obviously.
Yeah.
With all the different cast of characters. Henry Thomas, we love him. Kate Siegel. But so I would do the same thing. I don't care whose detriment it is, because if I'm making what I like, fuck off.
That's true.
If it's making its money back in the case of it being his business.
I think it's like, again, I like it when it was in his View Askew universe, and maybe this movie is. I haven't really heard anything that it is or isn't. I don't think it is. But if it's in his View Askew universe, when I see the actors pop up, I'm like, oh, because he's doing this with this and this. When he jumps outside of those universes, I like when I see different faces and doing different things. Like, I mean, there's always people he always works with, and there's stuff like that, like Zach and Miri, but he had a lot of new people, different people he branched out to work with for that one because it wasn't in the View Askew universe and stuff like that. So I like seeing that more. But like I said, I'm going to watch this movie. I was hoping to be more in love with the trailer, and I wasn't. So next trailer we have up is, the Hellboy. We talked about
the Hellboy, yeah.
I forgot about this. We talked about Hellboy, new images, all that different stuff. There was a trailer out, and we completely missed it. So we're going to watch, I think, the new trailer that just dropped. The new. We watched it already, obviously, but it's on in the background for you. It's darker, more horror-focused, gorier than probably previous Hellboys, if you're familiar with it. If you haven't seen any of the Hellboys or anything like that, it's definitely got a different tone than the other Hellboys. The thing that throws me off in this, and I talked about it to you, is just his voice is almost too pretty for Hellboy for me. And
it's funny you said pretty the last time, too.
It's just so...
I thought you couldn't come up with a word, but you mean pretty.
It sounds pretty.
Yeah, I mean, I can't trust a trailer. Who knows?
That's true.
Did they get the footage out to him like before any sort of review or post-processing or whatever? I don't know how smaller companies are, if they're cutting their own trailers. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But what this looks like to me is, instead of it being a Hellboy movie, it is like a movie with Hellboy in it. It's almost like, it feels like a Monster of the Week with Hellboy, where I'm like, this could have been the 17th issue of a comic. Mm-hmm. And it's just, we have to fight this villain, and at the end he finds the piece to the larger story, And that's great. I think for being a small budget movie and everything, is like, I don't want to see you begin Hellboy again on a small budget. It's cool that you are able to use these rights.
Right.
So
I like the one thing I started with, the thing I don't like is his voice, but overall I like the whole trailer. I like that it's not a him story. He just seems to be part of it. Because it goes back to my enjoyment of Westerns. He's like the wandering gunman that walks into a problem, and he's got to help solve it, and then he's going to walk out.
This
at the end
looks
of the
like
movie.
A problem he's going to walk into.
Walk out of, and that's great.
Yeah.
I love that story, and I think Hellboy is almost the perfect character to do it with, because he's got that kind of mentality. I know that's not the story we've been told over and over again.
He stumbles into shit.
Yeah.
Is always the...
Yeah. We've been told for 3 movies now, he works for the organization that sends him on missions, and he's more of like a secret agent that they pull out when they need the big gun, But I like this idea that maybe he just fell into this, and now he's decided to help them because of whatever about this girl or about this town or wherever they're at pulls him in. and I love that type of story. And give me Hellboy with it. It's fantastic. All about it.
True.
So I'm excited to see more of that as it gets closer. I added this one on there because I think we're going to have a lot to talk about because we got this movie.
We're going to have a lot to talk about?
Not really. But it's just, I just liked your reaction to when we watched the trailer. So there's a trailer for a movie called Bagman, new horror movie. Very much, I thought Hellboy was with DC. LOL. Whoops. He's
Dark Horse, right?
I think so. He's like a separate from both big universes.
Yeah.
But I do think he did have a crossover with DC stuff. I don't know. Cole, when you're saying that, it triggers something in me, but I don't know how to help you because I don't know how to help myself try to think of why I'm thinking that.
Yeah, a crossover with DC, though, is like
everyone
a dime a dozen.
Was it Hellboy and Turtles? But Turtles, I guess. But and then
no,
Turtles with DC.
Turtles and DC, like Turtles and Batman, and then they did Elmer Fudd and Batman. There's a new one coming out that's Turtles and Naruto.
They did, yeah.
So I'm just like, is Naruto in the DC universe now? If it's A equals B, B equals C.
Anyway, new Bagman trailer. It's a horror movie. Seems very kind of, I don't want to say by the numbers, but very much like, hey.
I can't believe Blumhouse is not the one doing these. This is the most Blumhouse looking movie I've seen.
But it's Lionsgate. Lionsgate.
Well,
had
and it's brighter.
Yeah.
Blumhouse is like way too dark.
Yeah.
Visually.
I watched the trailer and I was like, if this ends up being on streaming on a service and I click over it between the end of August and the beginning of November, I will hit play on it. But I will not go seek it out.
Normally I would say, what am I going to do?
Not watch it.
But I didn't watch Pray for the Devil, and I didn't watch The Strangers Chapter 1 as they just popped up now as the other movies from the studio that brought you. I'll watch The Strangers eventually. It just came out at a busy time.
Yep.
I will likely never see Pray for the Devil. I'm fine with that. But it's funny because there's liking an entire genre, like horror. There's more movies that come out than people realize. Like
there's a lot.
All of the exclusives that come out for Screambox and Shudder. Like Shudder originals are like every other week now, which is crazy because in COVID they did their first, and then they did their next one like a year later.
Well,
so they really slowly.
I mean, it's like Netflix
up.
though, right? Netflix did their original series and then original movie, and then all of a sudden it's
Shudder's doing theirs different though, in that they're buying the rights to these small movies.
Oh, they're not making
as exclusives. They do make some. They still do make some, but it's just so rare.
Gotcha.
That it's mostly a distribution thing. Oh, hello.
Oh, kind of funny.
Next video.
Jumping on the next video. This trailer ending. Shout out, kind of funny.
Shout out, kind of funny. Yeah. So it's just like I'm always watching things, and then when I'm out of things, there's a whole list of foreign movies that didn't quite release the same way here that I need to catch up with as well. That typically take the $3 rent because you can't purchase it, and it's not a Blu-ray, and it's not
And for me, it's not even the Shudder and Screambox and the ones that these are horror movies. I go onto Amazon and search found footage and see what mess I can find during those months.
Amazon
has got some
when
crazy
I watch
stuff.
movies with New York Colin, we call it prime slumming.
Oh, okay.
Like we're slumming through the streets of Prime.
I like how it's like prime is in top tier and slum is in bottom. You put those together.
It makes for a good name, huh?
That's good. Yeah.
Going prime slumming's fun, man. This is how we watched that movie with Rutger Hauer I told you about. Split Second. So but that's also how I watched Ninja 3: The Domination, which turned out to just be an absolute banger, or Hokkaider, just random movies that I probably shouldn't have seen. There's a lot of, like, Vicious Lips is still the one we say is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and that's because of Amazon Prime. So there's some out there that you shouldn't watch, but
okay.
This movie falls under the category that is the same as Wrong Turn, when they did the remake of Wrong Turn.
Okay.
I just had no interest in watching this movie, but I put it on my second monitor. And I was like, I'm going to do other things. And occasionally when it's like, oh, there's intensity, I'll stop and watch and then keep going and be like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the new Wrong Turn? I'm just going to throw it out there.
No.
No inbreds in that movie at all. No mountain people as all Wrong Turn 1 through 6 had. Mm-hmm. That was a wild take on a remake. I was like, wow, what are we watching then?
They just took the title. Just wanted the title.
Yep.
Yeah, right?
Yep, that was kind of it.
Okay.
But anyhow.
Next trailer we're talking about is called A Complete Unknown. It's a Bob Dylan movie. Oh, sorry.
Cole got the call for the second interview.
Hey, there we go. I
feel like we're getting we're getting speed run. I'm getting the spark notes of the story. Is this like actually happening in real time?
This is
we got the beginning. We're here in the middle.
Oh my God.
I hope you land it by the end.
Oh, yeah. Boop, 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 boop. It's the second interview in 20 minutes. Keep us up to date, Cole. Love to hear that it's going well so far, though. So anyway, Complete Unknown trailer about Bob Dylan, starring Edward Norton, as you just saw on screen, and Timothy Chalamet. Chalamet.
You said like Charlemagne.
Chalamet. That's it. It says he's been in a lot. He did Wonka, Dune, obviously. Not until the 7th, but I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you, Cole. Dune, Wonka. Before that,
Call Me by Your Name.
is that what was the thing that got him?
Probably.
I'm just
like
trying
what
to
got him the Oscar nom?
Well, no, I feel like before he was in Dune and in the one I just said, Wonka, I was like, I know this guy, and I knew of Call Me by Your Name, but that's not the one I think of him. But I can't think of what he was in that I'm like, I know this kid
but you
from
think
something.
there's another one that you know.
I feel like there's another one, and I may just be wrong. Maybe I'm just putting him in a movie. But I feel like
you didn't like
something.
Lady Bird, but he was in Lady Bird.
No.
I'm trying to go before Dune because he's been in things since then. I tried going earlier.
Yeah,
he was in The French Dispatch. He's in Don't Look Up. He's in Bones and All. Those are probably his bigger ones post Dune.
Okay.
He's in Little Women as like a smaller role.
Yeah.
Netflix is The King.
I didn't watch The King, but it might be that. It might just be the images on Netflix.
Lady Bird, Call Me by Your Name. And it looks like that's mostly it.
It might honestly,
his Law and Order run, his whatever, like everybody's,
it honestly might
things.
be the like Law and Order, all the TV shows that I've seen a bunch of them, and then him just being probably on the advertisements for The King in Netflix, and I just went by it so many times that I just got accustomed to his face like that.
Other people watch things that you don't, and then you get their excitement handed to you.
So. We kind of talked through kind of funny just popping up on everything.
You're just letting them go to the end.
I'm sorry. Because we keep actually getting into a conversation. But I think that movie looks good. I'm not the biggest Bob Dylan fan. I think he has good songs. I'm not a huge, I don't think of myself as a huge music person,
Timothy's
but there are
voice
certain people.
form is good. He's doing the Joaquin Phoenix Walk the Line of like, it's actually him like impersonating in a way.
That is true. And I do like that it's him singing and he's doing a really good job. But I can still tell it's him singing. Like I can hear his voice in it. Yeah. So it's not like I go, is it him? Is it not him? Are they doing a mixture? It's like, no, I can tell he's doing it, but it's so good that I can turn off and just think that this is Bob Dylan,
right?
Which is really cool. So I think it's like the perfect level of he's doing the voice, but I can still tell it's him, but it's good enough where I'm not mad that he's doing the voice.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll jump on that movie, but I would like to check it out. I usually like music biopic movies like that.
Yeah.
I did not end up seeing the Bob Marley one, even though I really wanted to.
You were very excited.
I was super excited, but it was in a time where we were deciding where we were going with things, and it was
Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just a little bit of a messy time and things, and I just didn't get out to it, but I definitely want to watch it still. I should put it on my list to just go find. Maybe I'll do it on Saturday. When I've got some free time where maybe we're not streaming quite yet, Bethany's at work, everyone's busy, I'll just throw on.
If you can find it.
That's true. Is it streaming? I'll have to check.
Great question.
Next trailer, the new Amazon Prime show based on the Yakuza games, Like a Dragon, Yakuza.
This trailer, almost not even worth talking about.
It's a trailer.
You just see a close-up of someone getting a tattoo and like someone shadow boxing, and that is it.
I mean, it's like
this is almost just like you might as well have just shown me a title card announcement with music behind it.
That's what I thought, and it was funny because when I was prepping it before we watched it over there, the first image is of the video game, like screens with video game on it, and I went, "Is this a game? Is this a show? Is it an animated show?" But I believe it is a live-action series on Amazon Prime based in the Yakuza world, which I think is cool because the Yakuza games are something that I have been on the outside. I've watched people play different parts of them. I've actually thought about jumping into them, but they seem so big and massive, I'm like intimidated. So give me a show with the story. I think it would be really cool, and maybe I'll finally take the first step into playing the games.
Push.
Yeah, because I do. It's like I want to play the games, but I know I don't have the time commitment to play the games right now. So I don't want to do it and have like a bad idea of the games.
Yep, it exists.
October 24th is when it's coming. So if you're into the Yakuza games or you're excited for anything like that, we've got that. Next, that's trailers. We're getting into just kind of news now. My iPad's dying, so hopefully we don't need it too much later on. We've got a new poster for the new Crow movie got released.
So like an official
kind of poster reveal. True Love Never Dies up top. The Crow.
What's the worst movie slogan tagline you've seen?
The worst? I don't know.
I'm gonna have to find the title of the movie.
I just keep thinking of good ones. I just keep thinking of good ones.
Oh, you think of good ones first?
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. 'Cause it took my intention of being like, I can never forget this. How terrible of a choice it was. Do you remember them? I've said it before.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I'm pulling it up just so I can, if anyone wants to see it.
So I'm going to take this
It's
down.
unbelievable that they said it.
Maybe.
All right, I found it. So it's from the movie Cyrano, Cyrano.
Okay.
Peter Dinklage.
Okay. Oh, was it like the medieval, he's like a poet or something? No,
It appears to be something like that.
Okay, go on.
The slogan is, "Have you ever loved someone?" And I yes, everyone on this whole fucking planet has loved someone. That is just like that's like in Guess Who. If someone says no, you just flip down everybody but one character. You know, it's like they don't make questions like that. It's just it's impossible.
That's really funny. The Crow movie's coming out. It's a remake. It's been talked about for a very long time, and I love the original Crow movie. I think it's still amazing to watch and really good. The new one I was excited for. I watched the trailer. It's not the Crow movie I wanted made, but now that I know that, seeing the trailer,
I mean, you didn't really want one made.
I mean, I did, but I wanted it done in a different way. The original is going to be the original no matter what, but I was hoping this new one was going to do it like the things that they wanted to do in the original. They wanted to do a lot of black and white stuff. They wanted to do this. They wanted to be more comic booky, but got pushed to do a little bit more of straight movie, which I think worked out for that movie. It's still really good.
Sure.
But this movie seems to be less about the way I explain it is this movie isn't the Crow from the trailer. It looks more like they took the Crow character and put it in the Spawn movie. Just the way the scenes are, it just seems more Spawn-like to me.
Yeah.
So,
but we know how a trailer can fuck something
That
up.
is true.
So,
but I want to have my expectations set right. So if I do go and watch The Crow in a Spawn movie, I still want to enjoy it. So that's kind of how I'm going in. And then if I get surprised with something else, then I'll be cool.
Yeah.
But I am excited to watch it.
we'll go.
But
It's this month.
Dang, already.
I think it's the end of this month, to be fair.
Starting tomorrow. I was like, it's the end of the month.
Well,
in August. Yeah.
I mean,
I understand.
By the time anyone sees this that isn't here right now.
That's true. But yeah. So hopefully it is good. I'm hoping it's still enjoyable. But if you have not watched the original Crow in a long time and you're like, oh, that would be good to watch, go watch the original. It's totally worth it still. You're a big enjoyer of physical media, specifically horror movies.
This is also true.
So I got
and also this movie.
I got some bloody disgusting.
I don't know. Have I talked about how much
stuff.
I like this movie? Have I mentioned that before?
I mean, yeah. I guess it's one of those movies though. You go, man, I really like Trick or Treat. I was like, man, I really like Trick or Treat. We go, cool, and we just move.
It's really not. I mean,
it's hard
what do you
to
need to say? Like, it's funny. It was actually
and then we hold hands and skip off into the sunset together.
Typical. That's every day.
Mm-hmm. But you really like Trick or Treat.
This movie. Somebody asked me recently what my top 10 horror movies are, which is like, how do you pick that?
Yeah, right.
I was like, I think it'd be easier for me to just be like, these are kind of my favorites of like different subgenres.
Okay.
Like, there's sci-fi horror ones, aquatic horror ones, whatever.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see where this falls in your listing.
Well, I was like, I could probably name 10 movies, but I don't know how I would order them or whatever. And it just made me think of like, what are some of my favorites? And this one did actually hit my top 10 of I have so much fun watching this movie because one of the categories was like anthologies.
Oh, okay.
Was the one I'd come up with. And I was like, it's probably Trick or Treat. It's not quite an anthology, but it is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
It's not VHS, which was the one that spawned the idea. Because I was like, maybe it's found footage is my subcategory. Maybe it's, I don't know. But Trick or Treat, I really love this movie. I regularly try to convince Shay to let me buy a little Sam doll that's like 3 feet tall.
I was gonna say you said little. I was like, are you coming from the table or the ground when you put your hand
I mean,
back
I
here?
get a little like a tiny statue that's like a foot tall. I could get that in and out. She'd never know.
Oh yeah.
But she would notice the 3 foot tall.
I mean,
little character.
I mean, it depends. You should just put it in the house. Try to see how long. Get it and see how long it takes her to notice.
Put it in the oven. That's an inside joke. Sorry, everybody. But yeah, I mean, like I like the little the lollipop thing that he, the bite out of it. Because I want the lollipop too. Like, this is a movie I've regularly been wanting to collect pieces of. So for there to be a special Arrow release of it with the lithographs and the booklet and the disc, I have only one other Arrow that has this level of like collection to it, and it's American Werewolf in London.
Cool. Well, this one looks really cool. I really like Trick or Treat. Cole, real quick, add in the original Blair Witch still scares the shit out of me. I still love the original Blair Witch. I still think it has got scary. Like, I know what's happening, but
I
it's
forget
like,
for both of you. How did both of you like the remake?
The sequel, the third.
The third, yeah.
Yeah. Right? Because it's not just like a remake because it exists in the universe. Am I crazy?
I mean, the second one is like the movie was made.
Yeah, the second one's.
I'm
Book
just
of Shadows is
saying it out loud.
Yes, the new Blair Witch.
Yes, but it's just called the Blair Witch.
Yes.
But they go to like the family's house or whatever, and then go out to the woods, right?
Yeah. And it's like, how long? Like, when's the last time you saw me? It's been an hour. It's been 3 days. The time shifting.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Well, but that wasn't them from that movie or anything. It was just like the crew they brought or whatever. They like split off in yeah. But I just wondered if you liked it.
I liked it. However, I think at the end they show, and I was like,
yes.
This would be a 10 out of 10 if you didn't show it to me. And right now it's like,
who do you think? Yeah. Those are the kinds of things that I hear like right at the end of the movie. It's not even the third act like with a lot of movies. It's like just this little thing.
It's like so close like, to being perfect.
Which studio exec said we have to have a creature this time?
Yeah.
That said we have to physically see something. It can't be enough to be imagination. Anyway,
I like
the new one a lot.
I also really like the game. I thought the game was fun. I think me and Alex streamed it.
I did play that one a bit, but I don't like horror video games.
In the Old
they do
Testament.
scare me. They scare me too much.
But back on Trick or Treat. The story with the school bus at the bottom of the hill or whatever, where you got the children, and then you just hear the sounds as like Sam walks by. Dude, that's still as I was like, just still lives with me. It's a sound.
Really?
It's like in Frozen with the sounds of the wolves eating them. It's like the sounds are way harder on me than just
I was
gonna
be like, dude, I haven't seen Frozen.
Not that Frozen. The other Frozen.
Singing at me.
The first Frozen.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
It came first.
I'm 90% sure.
Well, that's pretty high. I'm just curious.
My iPad died, or I would check for you, but I'm pretty sure.
If I type in Frozen, what's the first movie that's going to come up? It did come out first.
Okay, that's what I thought.
2010. I don't think I watched it in 2010 though. I was a couple years behind on that one.
I was consistently listening to Adam Green podcasts and waiting for his movies to come out and during all that time. So
I didn't know he made that movie.
Yep. So Hatchets.
Don't let her look.
Don't let her look. Just the sounds. Woo, man, what a great
Homie's
scene.
shins bust through his kneecaps, dude. That's not ideal.
Such a good scene.
I was really surprised. We're just talking about movies now.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
things that are unrelated to anything else.
That's true. The next thing, this was I thought was interesting because I didn't hear about this to begin with. This was a limited edition 4K. It's called Paramount Scares, and it's got 4 different movies that you get with it. I realized that I accidentally closed the tab that talked about which movies were in it. But I know it was Friday the 13th, Part 2.
The first one I did not know. The first movie? I was like, I have not heard of this movie.
And I cannot tell what they are from.
Was The Descent in there? I think The Descent was in there.
Let's see.
You're going to have to look that one up again. I don't remember.
I had it up, and I was like, I need to keep this tab open. And then I was like, I just got so many tabs open. Let me close what I don't need. And, of course.
Click the one you had already clicked, all right.
Let's see. Whew. No. Oh, here we go.
So Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Let's see.
Breakdown. That was the one that I didn't know.
Breakdown. World War Z and
Orphan First Kill.
Orphan First Kill.
Yo, Orphan First Kill. Underrated.
I know I've seen it. I don't know if I could pick it
really
out, like what it was.
It came out like a year ago, 2 years ago.
Oh, maybe not then.
There's Orphan.
Yep.
And that was it.
Well, then
there's First Kill that just came out.
I think I'm thinking of a different one. What's the one? I think it's got one of the Baldwins in it. That was like a sequel. I might be getting my people wrong.
One of the Baldwins?
Maybe not the Baldwin. God, what's his name? He looks like a Baldwin.
Does he talk like a Baldwin? You smell like a Baldwin? He might be a Baldwin.
I have no idea how I'm going to look this movie up, but I will figure it out and let
give
you
me
know.
give me any plot.
It's like he's in a priest's robe.
Baldwin.
It's like I don't know if it's a Baldwin. I might be wrong.
I'm just
going
gonna
to
keep saying it at you. Don't Google from
what
18 feet away.
Actor that looks like Baldwin. Let's see if I can figure it out. Oh man, I can't look at this.
Yeah, of course you can't.
It's so hard. It's so far away.
The monitor is
it's so tiny.
10 feet from us?
What's this guy? No, it's actually Baldwin.
That's just the Baldwin. Stop. I'm stopping it right now. This is terrible.
Anyway, I think of a different movie.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm thinking.
I know you're
First
thinking
Kills.
of a different movie.
Well, here we'll look up Orphan First Kills.
It came out as a Paramount exclusive for streaming. The cover that's known is that blue one.
Yeah,
that's the regular poster.
Here,
on a DVD. Who?
There you go. Orphan First Kill.
There you have it.
That girl looks familiar. Was she in another scary movie?
Orphan.
That was. Oh, maybe I just saw that one. I don't know. They all kind of blur together. This one, yeah. This okay. This
you
looks
just
familiar.
clicked Orphan.
That looks familiar.
Yeah,
I just let you
God
know. I figured it out,
Brent.
dude. I figured it out. It's the original Orphan.
You figured it out, dude.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it.
I
that
wish
was
you,
so low.
I can't believe you left me
Completely
hanging
so.
there. I really wish you would help
Seriously.
me out. But,
This is a lot. I'm just not going to comment anymore. Let you do what you do.
so the next little thing is a bit of anime news. Keanu Reeves' Berserker. I realized that they announced that they was getting an anime a while back, but you get a lot of those announcements and they don't go anywhere.
Sure.
So now officially the writing team that is looking, or the director-writer.
Wow. Writing is to start this fall. That is so far out.
So far out. But then I was like, oh, it's a non-story. Maybe I'll take it off. But when I was reading this, they were talking about how the person working on it, who helps with the comic and stuff, is also working on a live-action version of it, along with an animated version of it. And I went, that's like a lot to like. I feel like just pick a lane,
adapt it
right?
and do an album too while you're at it.
Right? Just pick one. Like I don't know who out there's like, man, I just went and saw the live action movie. I can't wait for the anime. Or is like, man, I just watched the anime. I'm so glad they're doing it in live action too. It's not like a One Piece that's had 6,000 episodes. It's like finally we're getting a live action, or something that's been out for 20 years and stuff like. It's like you're doing the exact same thing at the exact same time. It's a weird choice. But what are we gonna do now? Watch it?
Yeah, that's a possibility for me.
You won't see the movie though?
I mean, well, unfortunately, it's a possibility.
Oh, really?
I might not watch it. I mean,
Okay.
It doesn't stir up any excitement in me now.
Okay.
You know, he's got great comic
The comic art's
covers.
great. Yeah.
I can't speak.
Actually,
to
I was going to say, I think these are mostly. This is just comic art. I don't think it's any of the. Like,
It's not like concept or anything.
I mean,
the
maybe,
concept
but-
art is the comic, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so like,
it all looks
but
good.
also, most comic books I have art I enjoy in some capacity. I think they're all done. There's so much done well on comics, but yeah, I mean, whatever. If it's an anime movie, I might watch it. I saw that one with the chair, so that
Suzume.
yeah, Suzume is how I say
Suzume.
it. But that is one that I somehow I watched it. And I would have told you there's no world I see that movie.
That is true.
I'm not going to rule it out.
Yeah, I didn't think you would see that movie. That was a good one, though.
Yeah, it was a movie.
I think we're done with our movie news. My iPad died, so my list is gone. So if you want to double check me. We're not?
No, there's Doctor Doom.
Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah,
I left
the
it
one
for
that
the
you've been saving.
I left the one,
I
the
clearly,
big one.
The one
Oh,
you
my
put
gosh.
first.
I didn't even pull up an image of anything because it's really just that one image on stage. But
the other two things, there's King Spawn. We already talked about it once on this show, this very young baby episode 3 show.
Yes.
And now they're already shopping a director.
Already looking for a director.
They're on the hunt.
So,
which is further than a lot of movies get.
That's true.
So that's happening. And then you also put Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah, Power Rangers. Real quick, Cole brought up Borderlands, keeps popping up. Not hopeful for that movie at all. I'm excited to watch it, but I've got nothing hanging on this movie. I'm just going in for the ride. It can be good. It can be bad. I will walk out. My life won't change at all. I'm not a big Borderlands person, but I'm excited to watch it. Stokes?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay.
I have a long history with Borderlands that we don't need to dig into.
One of the best histories. Remember we opened that Borderlands 3 box on stream in the yesteryear.
Oh, I was there.
You were there?
Yeah, I paid for that.
Power Rangers. Everyone knows it. I love Power Rangers. Officially, Cosmic Fury, which is the series they're running right now, will be the last series in the run of Power Rangers in the current continuity. I only bring it up because, yada, yada. People think Power Rangers come and go. It dropped out. It came back. But it's like it's had a continuity in their series. They bring back old Rangers. They morph. They've had the 30 or the 25 anniversary recently, all this different stuff. Resetting it, I think, would be a good idea. One, because if they reset the universe and I don't have to go back and watch a bunch, I may actually watch Power Rangers. But I bring it up mostly because they said they're going to bring it back in a rebooted version that's going to drop their, monster of the week. Hey, this is how the story goes. They're kids. They morph. They fight. They lose. They morph. They get Zord. They win. Like that kind of cookie cutter way they do each episode. They're getting away from that and doing something different, which is also exciting. However, as this is getting closer to the point of it actually ending, there's rumblings of the fact that Hasbro might just stop Power Rangers, which is sad because it's been 29 years of Power Rangers. It's crazy to just be like, yeah, we're going to reboot it and then just slowly, quietly kill it off, not give it a send-off. Because we've had things end. Everything has to end eventually. But the fact that you would be like, hey, yeah, we're going to slowly, and then we're going to reboot it, don't worry, and then just kind of quietly push it away for something that's as powerful as Power Rangers is crazy to me. So keep an eye out there. And if you want any good Power Ranger stuff and maybe not the shows for you, check out the comics. The comics are awesome. There's a new Power Rangers game coming out, and it looks sick. I don't know if is it the side-scrolly one? Or is it another one?
I don't know.
If it's a side-scrolly one, I'm with you.
Are you familiar with the idea that everybody has two deaths?
No.
The first death we're well aware of. We know. Physical body, you die.
Oh, okay, go on.
Second death is the last time your name's ever spoken.
Oh, damn, okay.
Power Rangers has already had the second death for me. The TV show.
What? No.
I have already written off its existence in my brain that now it's just physically dying. And I'm like, yeah, it's so far removed from anything I would remember, anything I have a nostalgia for, a fondness for. That died forever ago. Physically. The MMPR. And I still have those movies. Okay. And I have tapes. You have tapes of episodes that I've sought out for you. And we have board games and we have fan films on YouTube that we like. And we have all the things and the Real Rangers. To top it all off. The TV show of the comic book. How can I not mention the comic book? The Boom comic book. The TV show I don't give a shit about. So it's just dying its second death.
Okay.
Or its first, depending on how you want to say it.
I'm excited if it ends and they do reboot it because I'm going to start watching it. It's like Pokemon. They stopped with Ash and I was like, oh, I don't have to go back and watch however long of Ash now to get caught back up. I'm watching the new Pokemon.
It's you and Beyblade.
I downloaded the first 5. I didn't download them. I found a very legal copy of the Beyblade X series on a website for me to watch, but I have them over there on that computer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got them. Open the door, sirens.
It's hard to find
Red
a dub
alert.
version, so I had to download it. And also, I checked today. If Bethany were to click over on a different tab on my computer over there, she would see that I still have tabs open. The Target in Traverse City finally has Beyblades from Beyblade X. I'm trying so hard not to buy them. So I'm married into the love of Power Rangers. Brent holds all nostalgia for the Rangers. I guess I just do personally. All on my own.
Well, you don't have
Rangers.
all of it.
Not all of it. There's a lot of Ranger people out there, and I follow a lot of them.
Yeah, you can't have all of it and not own a helmet.
Well, here's the thing. So
or a morpher or a suit.
So here's the thing with that. Go on.
You got to start coming to these swap meets, dude.
Okay.
The one you come to, you get Dogma on DVD.
That is a great find, right? That's awesome.
That's a 200% success rate.
It's fantastic.
You don't find numbers like that.
And
I went to new guy selling a bunch of toys. He had all of the Rangers with the flip heads.
How much was he selling for?
$3 a piece.
Oh my God, that's
they were open.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Nope.
What am I gonna? I mean, if I buy one in the box, I'm gonna rip the box open, you know. But I take out the blue one to see if it works, and they were all just a little grindy.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me go see if I can find things to spend money on otherwise. And I found a lot of really good tapes.
Okay.
But movies I'd never even heard of.
That would be.
I don't even like. I look it up and they're like $40 tapes. I got for like $2. So I got like $30 in tapes, and I didn't end up getting the toys. But if he comes back to the swap meet, you got to be ready for it.
Okay. I need to go. I didn't even know this one was happening. You brought up that you went to it and then also got to play paintball, and I was like, I would have loved both
Paintball
those
was
things.
the next week. Yeah.
Oh, was it the next week?
Yeah.
But it was because you were at this
because
one?
I went there and we
Yeah.
chatted, and he brought it up, and Bastion was the one who suggested I would never suggest doing paintball.
Yeah. I was like, I would love
But I
both
was
those
like,
things.
he's like, yeah, if you two want to come. And then I was like, well, maybe my wife wants to. He's like, yeah, we can give you a +1. That's like perfect.
that. Yeah.
And shaded
I would
out.
have loved to. Thanks for letting me know, by the way. So, but no, next time I definitely will, because that's because also. You obviously watch those videos where they clean like the toys and get them all nice and clean and stuff like that.
Dude, I live
ASMR
and die by those videos.
They're so good.
They're not advertised as ASMR,
No,
but
but
I just
it
saw
really
somebody
is.
build a gaming PC inside of a GameCube was the last one.
Ooh.
Odd Tinkering on YouTube.
That's cool.
Look them up.
Swap meets are so fun. 100%.
Dude, this one is called the Geek Trader Market, and they do it once a season. So
Fantastic.
they really are so much fun.
And then the last bit of movie news we have that we probably would talk about.
God,
big
we
chunk.
could talk forever about
I know.
it. I almost just want to give our take, and then, hey, he knows Odd Tinkering.
There we go.
We're big fans.
So San Diego Comic-Con's going on. Big comic news. I'm going to bury the lead. They redid the new Avenger movies. It's no longer the Kang Dynasty and then Secret Wars, or was it Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty? However they did it.
Great question.
It is now the first one, the next one coming out, Doomsday, and then followed by Secret Wars. And so Doomsday is going to have Doctor Doom in it, which is a character everyone was very excited to get back.
With 2 Marvel movies releasing, but 3. You're going to have Thunderbolts before it. You're going to have Captain America, Brave New World before it. And you're going to have Fantastic Four, First Steps.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
I didn't see
that's
the
it's
title.
called Fantastic Four First Steps. It's confirmed set in the 60s. Apparently, there's clips that we can actually view online now that were like leaked from
Oh,
the
really?
hall. They showed something from it
Yeah,
that
yeah.
wasn't a trailer. But so those movies come first. Then it's May 2026.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting Avengers Doomsday, and then May 2027 we're getting Avengers Secret Wars.
I'm so sad Fantastic Four is in the 60s. Just makes me not care.
Well, I mean, I like the aesthetic. I like the whatever. I'm also just happy that I think it's gonna get people's mental to feel separate when it's clearly it can't. Right? It can't be separate.
I hope not.
But I'm excited to see how they push it forward because they're gonna have to be around sometime.
Yeah. Oh, maybe the very beginning, like the first 20 minutes is in the 60s, and they go in the spaceship, they get sent forward in time with their powers, and it's modern day.
Maybe.
Then I'm in.
I
But
doubt
I don't
that.
know why they have the old suits.
Yeah, I doubt that. But I said it anyway. Maybe.
But anyway, the real story that we're talking about that we're kind of bouncing around is the Doctor Doom casting has been announced. They showed it on stage. The new Doctor Doom will be Robert Downey Jr. Stokes, how do you feel about that?
You get one word. I get one word.
I get-
Ready?
okay.
3, 2, 1.
Excited.
Terrible. I only did that because I know that we were very opposite
We're very
on
opposite. Yeah, yeah. So why do you think it's terrible? I'd like to hear what you
it.
think.
Lazy, uninspired.
Oh wow, okay.
I
You
could,
got
say,
more
I
words.
could say all the things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm just giving you more
Buzzwords.
one-ers, zingers.
Okay.
That's because we only have like 15, 20 minutes.
I know. Yeah.
So we got to stop talking about shit like trick or treat. People don't.
No
Who's
one
that
gives a
for
crap.
but me? And I already knew it. You know.
That's for us.
I
We do
know.
the show for us.
I know. I know. It's an excuse just to talk
and the video
about it
game
more.
news is, there's not a lot
I know,
to it
but
this week.
eventually, video game news is actually going to matter, and we'll have to get to it.
That's fine.
You
But
know?
we might not have movie news that week.
Well, maybe.
I'm just saying.
I don't know if that's going to be true.
So Robert
we
Downey
spent
Jr.
40 minutes talking about Twisters and Deadpool.
Robert Downey Jr. is going to be the Doctor Doom in Marvel Avengers Doomsday. Robert Downey Jr. may be familiar to you. I don't know. He's from a little film called Iron Man.
Oh.
Oh. Actually, I'm sorry, Dr. Doolittle. Yeah. He's from a little. No, he
Natural
played
Born
Iron
Killers.
Man, played Tony Stark in all the Marvel movies. So a lot of people are very upset that he's going to be playing Doctor Doom. Essentially,
I've
the
only
big
seen
bad.
excitement.
Oh, really?
I think you and I are just seeing opposite
That's
things.
so crazy. All I
seeing
see
it in
is
my
people
brain
getting angry,
opposite.
and I'm like, God, I'm so excited. To be,
I don't want it to be confused with anger. because there has to be some passion in me for there to be anger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have passion for Marvel anymore.
Yeah.
I have an enthusiasm in that I'll watch, like I said, like a little piggy at the trough. I'll eat up whatever they give me.
Yep.
But that's kind of the front to back of it. That's just the pig doesn't care what the food is.
Right.
He'll just eat it.
Yeah.
That's me. Robert, I can complain, but I'm just going to slop it up. So
yeah, I'm excited because essentially because obviously it's going to be a multi-universe thing, multiverse, whatever, however they do it, this and that. But for me, I think they could do a lot of really interesting story stuff if they go, hey, this is the face of the world's hero. We know this face is the face that literally brought back half of humanity, more than humanity, half of the universe, however you want to say it. Half of life, period. And then they go, now that's the face that's trying to, I guess, Dr. Doom rule us? Because he wasn't like a Thanos. He's not trying to
He's not trying to go back.
He's trying
another
to
50%.
like rule the world. And it's like, maybe they play with the idea that some people are actually for this. They go, well, he saved us. I'd call him my savior. He's behind us. Sure.
Maybe.
Like they do that, and then you have the other people. It's like, well, we don't want to be ruled. I don't care who it is, and you can kind of have.
It's going to have to lead into Secret Wars in some way. That it's like, oh, look, it's everybody coming from all the different places. But
yeah,
I don't even know what that means because I know him as a Fantastic Four villain.
Yep.
I know he's more than that.
I
know that. That's how I think of him. So when they go Fantastic Four is the movie right before it, I'm like, well, they're going to have to announce him there, right? Like it only makes sense.
Are the characters from the universe we know going to recognize him as Iron Man, or is this going to be an alternate universe thing where all the characters only know him as Doom? That's a great question, Cole. But if
there's no way to know, right? My assumption is that they are from the universe that would recognize Iron Man and Thanos, so they would recognize his face.
Right.
Because otherwise, in between now and then, knowing the movies we have, we would have to get all new characters from different universes, right?
Yeah. Which, to be fair, a lot of them we haven't heard from or haven't heard that they're coming back for a while now. Like, besides, like, Thunderbolts has got Bucky and the new Captain America.
Well, Thunderbolts has all of the villains from these movies that have already existed.
That is true.
So they've already all been here.
But which ones out of them has seen Tony Stark?
Captain America, Bucky, like you said.
Those two, right?
But everybody knows.
I guess
you're
saying, yeah. Right? I guess in the world as a whole, you're right. I was thinking so small in like the movie
like
world.
Who physically saw him?
Exactly, but no, it's if you are in the world, you know Tony Stark
because his murals are painted all over New York City, right?
And even if you didn't know, because the world does know he's Iron Man because he said he's Iron Man in the very first movie. But even if you didn't, the world knew who Tony Stark was as the person.
Yeah.
So
he was still the face of many, many things. He had his own conference where he would do all the AC/DC come out and unveil new tech.
I'll be really interested to see if they have, because they announced that he's playing Dr. Doom to us, the audience that lives outside of these movies. But in the movie, are they going to have Robert Downey Jr. play Tony Stark, come back to life, and everyone on the planet's like, oh my God, it's Tony Stark, and he's Tony Stark. But then people are like, why is he acting weird? He's starting the weapon program back up at Stark Industries, and all of a sudden the twist is that he is Victor Von Doom, but he just looks like Tony Stark, so he was able to use that.
My thought was that this character may even be a physically different person at the beginning, but there's going to be because it's the same time that the Fantastic Four become them that he becomes Doom, right? Mm-hmm. So might have early.
That's what the movies told me. I don't know the
that's
comics
all I know.
at all, but yeah.
We're talking about movies, so it makes sense.
Yep.
But if they have an Act 1 actor that is only there for Act 1 and won't be a part of the stuff going forward, they could just alter him visually to be a CGI character, just like Thanos, but then have him voiced in whatever by Robert Downey. And Robert Downey's just there to be another name on a poster.
Or
Victor
Von Doom is maybe he's like a businessman, but maybe he's giant because when he gets Dr. Doom, he gets the armor on and he becomes big. The armored Dr. Doom is CG, or a guy in a suit. They get a 6'4" muscle man to put him in the suit, and then they just go, "Here, Robert, you're going to talk over him." And he's like, "Oh, I don't have to put on the suit anymore." Cool.
It could be an Ultron.
Let me get in the booth
with James Spader, where it's like he might have mocapped something, but it didn't matter if he did.
Right. Which at that point, I don't think it's weird to announce that he's going to be Dr. Doom. Then, that's a weird thing to announce. We did.
He also said mask. He also said whatever. It's like, so it's not going to be just his face, but
it is weird. I think
I gotta pee so bad.
I'm excited. All right, I guess we'll hold for a bathroom break. All right, welcome back, Stokes.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm excited for Robert Downey Jr. Honestly, I'm just excited to see where they go, what they do, because for so long it was, where's Marvel going? Because Kang kind of had to be put quietly to the side.
Yes.
Which
he had to be resolved.
Which for me, when you think about it, does that mean in this universe, Ant-Man beat Kang? That's it, right? Because even in the end of Ant-Man, they're like, oh, he probably won't be back, right? He probably won't be.
Yeah, there's like a council of Kangs still in that one, and I didn't finish Loki season 2, so I don't know if he's dealt with there in any way.
So I think canonically,
I like yours canonically.
I've heard it both. I've heard it both ways.
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah.
Ant-Man beats Kang, which I think is funny. So excited. I'm excited. My internet tells me that most people aren't, but there has been a couple people that I'm like, oh, you're excited? That's great.
I'm excited because it seems like that they were able to figure out that it's just not dead years of whatever. Also, I'm excited that they didn't announce 15 TV shows, which D23 is still coming around, right?
Yep.
So do they save it there? I guess maybe, but I didn't like keeping up with shows.
That's fair.
Shows that aired weekly.
Really?
Then I was like, I guess I'm just going to wait and maybe not get spoiled. And then we get shows that are just absolute dog shit.
Well,
we watched it together.
Oh, that one, yes. I thought you went Falcon and Winter Soldier. I was that one was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, well, considering it had so many different issues I guess there's that. But I really liked Hawkeye.
I liked Hawkeye a lot.
Moon Knight,
She-Hulk
pretty
was great.
mixed with people.
I loved Moon Knight.
She-Hulk was good, and what was the other one? Loki.
Loki,
Obviously,
1 and 2 were great.
2. And then I liked Ms. Marvel.
I didn't watch Miss Marvel or the WandaVision.
Oh, yeah. Of course, there's the original. WandaVision's still the best, I think. But
I stopped watching Marvel stuff after Endgame. I don't like the new approach where we have to watch the TV shows to keep up with the movies. So much stuff to watch. I get it.
It's funny because Cole mentioned, going back at Borderlands, said the best Borderlands game was Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah.
One of my complaints, even though I played it, was that they kill off a major character in the Tales from the Borderlands games, and it's just like that character's just not in Borderlands 3, and it's like never addressed. It makes sense because I was there. I saw I played the Tales game, but for anyone who was like, I'll play Borderlands 1, 2, pre-sequel, 3, like I'll play everything, and they're just like, where is this guy? Maybe they did explain it, like maybe I'm missing a singular phrase or sentence or something, but I was like, man, that's just crazy to kill off a character like that.
Yeah. A little bit of last movie news wrap up. DC Studios came out and announced they got a new logo. Nothing really big there. They went back to like a classic. They call it their bullet logo, but essentially it's a DC with 4 stars around it. Looks cool.
Oh, nice.
That's coming. That's great. And then releasing this weekend is Trap, and we're gonna go see it on Thursday.
True.
So that's pretty exciting.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock Thursday. We're gonna go see that, and then we're gonna be streaming either Supervive or Marvel Rivals. We'll see what works. Now we're gonna get into game news.
For the last 8 minutes.
Real quick. Yes, because
blitz it out.
So the quick stories we can go over real fast is they announced that the Olympic Committee is going to have the Olympic Esports Tournament 2025 in Saudi Arabia. No games or anything been announced yet, but just the fact that the Olympic Committee has voted and esports are going to be in an Olympic sport.
Unanimously, right?
Unanimously added in as Olympic sports. Very excited. Me and Stokes have our own games and own things. We both like watching competitive games. Even though Stokes, I would say you're not a competitive gamer, you like watching the competitive stuff.
Not a competitive basketball player either, but
true.
Also, yeah.
But I think it's exciting that they're going to take it more seriously, and I love watching high-level competitions. I'm watching the Olympics right now. I'm going to wake up early tomorrow to watch volleyball.
You're going to like that about Supervive. It's built with esports in mind. I know we're talking about what we're going to stream, but it's built with esports in mind, and that the first time I ever saw it, it was just some random person streaming it, and I clicked, and she's an official announcer for it, and she was watching other people play from the alpha and just commenting, like doing like shoutcasting over top of it. And it was smooth. I mean, she was in a situation like this where I was like, oh, you're not in a booth. You're at your house. But it looked great, felt great. I was just like
Splitgate,
I was like,
a tournament.
I was like, wow, this is no, the game doesn't look like a tournament.
Oh,
like
no.
that.
You're saying it's just presented.
I'm saying that this person who is a confirmed shoutcaster for the game already was shoutcasting while other people were playing.
Oh, okay.
And she was killing it. And I'm like, oh, this game she's just proving how well this can be a viewing experience only.
That's exciting.
And it's a really exciting way to view something like an Apex where you can only jump into first person. This game is isometric. I'm just going to say like League, like a MOBA where it's top down. So the camera can float around a whole team and you get the full view. So I think it's going to be really exciting for an esport, and hopefully it ends up making it. I don't think it's in time for 2025.
Right, yeah.
But who knows? Because they're doing it yearly, right? Is that what I heard?
It's interesting because it says Saudi Arabia has been signed up for a 12-year contract starting in 2025.
So does that mean we're going to get it 25, 29,
yeah, I don't
33? Like,
is it going to be on its own 4-year rotation? Is it going to be every 2 years and they do different games every 2 years? Like I don't. There wasn't a lot of information when it got announced.
Yeah.
And as far as I've seen, because right now you search Olympics, you're not going to get Esport Olympics news. It's hard to find right now. So as far as I'm aware, currently they have not announced anything like that, but I'm going to keep an eye on it because I definitely want to stay up to date with it.
Yeah, well, and we have that. I don't know if we talked about it on the show. I forgot, but the World Championship of
the World
Esports,
Championship, yeah,
whatever they call that one. That one's really cool, and they're kind of doing the same thing. If I were them, I'd be like, son of a bitch, we just started. You're going to the Olympics, like. But also that's interesting because the teams that we're used to, they can't exist, right? Because the Olympics are only nations.
You would think so.
So it's going to be Team USA and Overwatch, Team USA and what? Which is just like that's interesting, and it's strictly about your birth. You can't just like join a different team,
right?
Or I guess your citizenship. Maybe I don't know that, but
to be fair, yeah, I mean, the championship is a team that you build, and then you have to go play for your nation. So it's like any other sport. It's just another tournament you get to go play, and it might keep people at a higher level, and you might just get better gameplay throughout the year then. So it might be great for the championship to be
maybe,
at the same time.
But what's the one that we're talking about, this world championship that's actively going on right now, actually, is still teams. It is still space station versus, so it's interesting to see how that – it's just going to it's almost like you have the NBA, which is this championship, and you have all the different playoffs and championship games there, but then you also have the Olympics or whatever they call it in soccer, European leagues and Premier Leagues and whatever. So that's international stuff.
We'll keep an eye on it, but very exciting news. I'm glad the world is starting to take esports more seriously. It's exciting. It's good stuff.
It makes me feel more wishful for a service that was like MLG back in the day or whatever, where it was a website that was all about clan battles and stuff like that. I would love an ESPN that is just this.
Yep. Or even because
I think the way ESPN jumps through sports based on seasonality, based on whatever, there could be a channel that is separate that is just through different games, through developers.
I feel like we got to be close, right?
Levels of play through. Because that's the other thing is like ESPN doesn't stream high school games unless it's like a state championship for something really important. But with video games, you could always have something on.
There's always a tournament.
Always.
I think
something.
a Counter-Strike tournament happens every 12 hours.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
restart a tournament. So.
Yeah, Cole says it's overdue at this point. It is. I can't believe a major network hasn't decided this.
Right.
And they've tested the waters. Like ESPN has done esports things before. Michigan State was actually the first broadcasted one on ESPN.
That's cool.
Michigan State versus Ohio State. I'm not going to tell you who won.
Okay.
Or why my buddy picked Scion Support, dude. I'll never let him live it down. It was a terrible choice.
G4 used to do it all the time back in the and for me, it's not even like I'm waiting for a TV network to do it. It's like, where's the Twitch channel?
Dude, I would love
that
to.
Is like
I would love to have
high level production Twitch channel that just does that.
Give me the Stephen A. Smith equivalent. Give me the guy that's just the 4 or 5 caricatures of this network that have their special thing that they do, and all they do is talk about all the players from the different sports, but they don't talk about the plays they make or the rules. They're not shoutcasters. They're just analysts and the talking heads. I would love to have 5 talking heads that I can enjoy just about video games.
Yep. It's essentially kind of like we watched a lot of Pokemon TCG tournaments when we had the store and stuff. It's like those talking heads that were in between stuff. Why aren't they on? I mean, it's Pokemon because for card games, you've got the big tournaments where they can do that. But for a video game, why isn't that happening all the time? It's crazy.
Golden Boy better be on.
That's true. Golden Boy shoutcasts every game now. It's crazy. But yeah, hopefully that's soon incoming. Hopefully maybe the Olympics push it, the championship, because I've been trying to watch the championship again. It's kind of tough because it's a weird, messy thing to like click on.
The ones that are going on right now. Yeah.
Schedules.
It doesn't. From what I remember, they didn't have their own channel, right?
It was
clicked
like a lot through the
Overwatch
website.
Yeah. I don't know. I watched the Overwatch ones, but it was like the EWL.
Yeah.
Which I guess would be like the Esports World League.
Because it's not the OWL anymore, right?
Well,
it's World League.
But it's possible that it was streaming on on the channel of the World Championship. Do I go there for Counter-Strike next week? Do I go there for, whatever, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, that whatever, MOBA Bang Bang? I don't remember.
So last bit of game news we've got is
music, movie, games, and
it's because it's Mortal Kombat. I was getting into the M too fast. Mortal Kombat's got some character announcements. We've got Conan the Barbarian, the T-1000. Was it Nubot?
Noob Saibot.
Or New Saibot, Sector, and
Ghostface?
There is Ghostface, but there's the other one that's Cyrax. Ghostface is cool. Conan is a perfect character to add in that. The T-1000, they already had the Terminator, so I think it's a little bit of like double dipping, but it's still a cool character to have.
True.
Ghostface is interesting. When I'll be Googling his finishers once he's out and in and all that good stuff. That's all I ever do with Mortal Kombat because I'm terrible at those games, but I like when they get new characters so I can see the finishers. And Ghostface, he's got to kill somebody with a phone, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know how you do it. It's going to be characters picking up the phone.
Yeah. What's your favorite scary movie? And then they just like get sucked in the phone because it goes like crazy.
God. Yeah, they do.
They've only gotten more and more insane.
Yeah.
So, and the last little bit of news is that currently the video game voice actors are on strike. Let me pull up a Polygon article. So essentially they have been in negotiations for about 2 years talking about different things that voice actors want in their contracts and different things that they're asking for and video game companies and all that. We all kind of went through this with the movies and the Hollywood actors and stuff like that, but the big sticking point, just like there, has been the unrestricted use of artificial intelligence. Video game performers want protections over the use of their likeness and voices, which is obviously just a reasonable thing. Just like, hey, we would like to be able to have some form of control rights of you using me digitally.
Yep.
And
it's redundant at this point,
right?
It's like, well, we've done this for writers and we've done this for actors. I should say film actors because these guys are actors too. 100%. But you know,
and
phone, they won't pick it up.
Yeah, you're right. I don't see it on the thing, so it's just going to keep ringing. It's also crazy that it is because video games are already digital. It's like, yeah, they want protective of their digital selves.
There's such a thin line already there between AI and not.
Yep.
Yes, because you're already making their physical likeness do something they probably did not do.
Yep.
So you're already manipulating them in some capacity that it's just they're going, well, we're doing all of these kill animations. Why don't we just do this voice line?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they weren't in studio for this thing, but we really need them to say this line.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that it's a slipperier slope with that.
Yeah.
Yes, Cole wants to know, or is telling us that it's wild how quickly AI problems have happened. 2 years ago, this wasn't an issue, says Cole. It's funny because it was a concern for so long.
Yep.
And then it was just like, it's here.
Yeah, it was a concern that
in the case of actors. I mean, it's not fully.
It was a concern that it's like, oh, this could happen. We're worried that this is happening. They could take this, blah, 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 blah. But then because it wasn't right in front of them, people brought it up, but no one did anything. So I think that's why it feels like it just came out of nowhere.
Also, I mean, what are you going to do? Because even when it was there in their face for real, they had to push to a strike to get it to even happen. So if we assume a strike is what needs to happen for this to take place, you'd have to be striking for something that doesn't exist yet.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm not.
So it's like, it is like, how do you get around it? But especially when you consider the Writers Guild and whatever, like, man, they wanted those people homeless.
Yeah.
No, they were ready to kill. Like, I can't believe there wasn't murder in the street.
I'm not saying that it's like they should have done something sooner. I just think that's why it feels like it's out of nowhere, is that everyone warned about it and talked about it, but there was nothing to do until it was here. So when it's here, it's like a red flare went up instantly because it's like the British are coming. Like, it's like, boom, they're here. We're
doing it. Now's the time. Today's the day.
Exactly. So that's why I feel like it came out of nowhere, where I don't think if you looked back at the timeline and started seeing the little steps that we got closer and closer, it isn't out of nowhere. It just feels like that because we can finally do something, so we have to fire in all guns like right now, or it's going to get too far and we can't take it back.
Yeah, well, and it is interesting because it's so useful as a tool for so many people. But we were just talking yesterday about how even the things that are just asking a question, one, the question might not be answered correctly, which is its own thing. But two, even just one search is 10 times the energy usage of a Google search. So it's like we already have energy problems
already.
So if we're going to keep pushing this forward, and I got one of the Twitch ads that interrupted me actually was one for generative AI on Photoshop on iPad. So use iPad, here's Photoshop, drag, type what you want, it fills it, big circle, give me a butterfly, boom. Mm-hmm. There's this like huge made up image. And that's where I'm like, well, it can be a tool. In a way, it's probably stealing an image from somebody else who has the rights to an image, and that's tough to get around.
Yes.
But there's the tool, and then there's the abuse, and it's like that is already a fine line.
Well, that's the whole.
It's artists that really need the protection,
and that's the really big issue is with Photoshop AI like that is that when you sign up and you start using Photoshop, essentially Adobe, there's a lot of fine print, a lot of inner workings, but essentially it like boils down to like they're kind of saying you signed over your right that your stuff can be used in generative AI. It's like helping to teach AI. It's not like, hey, that thing you drew, we're going to put it in someone else's art because AI pulled from
just
that.
For teaching,
it's teaching AI. But in the same sense as when you teach somebody to draw, it's like there's a reason why your drawings look similar, you know? It's like that's how it works. So, issue might not have been the right word, but yeah, I agree. Yeah,
issue is the right word.
It is, yeah, totally.
It's definitely the right.
It just is like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is funny though that I always joke that it's like Grammarly has been here the whole time.
Yep.
And it's always been advertised to me as not just a spell check, but it's been like, make this sound nicer.
Hey, did you write a cover letter and you want to sound more professional? We're going to put it in the words or the phrases of the order to do it.
And they suggest it to you. They don't create it. They just say, hey, change this, subtract this period, and put a comma, make it a longer sentence, to soften it, whatever. All of those things. I'm like, man, it's just funny how okay it felt then.
Yeah.
But now it's like you see it and you're just triggered by it.
I will say,
no one's coming after Grammarly, but
yeah, I also
nor should they.
I will say Grammarly was something I used for book writing a little bit, and it just made it harder. Just don't use it for things like little things.
Well,
probably easier.
A creative
Big
project
things,
is unique, right? If I'm doing a resume, I'd be like, sure, that's a great fix.
Yeah, totally.
It's not going to change the tone of who I am.
Yeah. But I think people hear Grammarly and just think it's going to correct grammar, and that's like a big when you're writing a creative thing, sometimes you just miss that grammar stuff. It hurts more than it helps in the long run for that stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, cool. Ran a little long as we seem to always do. Luckily, we got the Twister talk in though, so that was the real big story of the
100%.
Yeah, right?
100%. To heart it or not to heart it.
And that's why I have you, of course, my lovely wife in the chat. But we're gonna wrap up for the grammar.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, how's she help us run it? She's just sitting there. She didn't tell us. There's no warm. There's no.
We look over
warning.
at her across the room. So far,
she's just jumping jacks on this side, like the 5 minutes. She's gonna start cueing the music in the room.
I see how she was in the room, but didn't get up to turn off the fucking phone that rang. Thanks for the help there.
Oh my god! Wow, I didn't want this to be turned into so blamey. Holy cow!
But anyway,
you guys like each other.
Yeah, it comes and goes.
He's looking at her the whole time with like a nervous.
I'm waiting for her to turn around. It wasn't coming through on the mic. It was fine. Okay, perfect. Thanks for the double check. I was just waiting for her to turn around. She hasn't turned around, so that's why I keep giving her the side eye. Was a pleasure as always, guy. Thanks for hanging out, Cole. Really appreciate it. Everybody else who hung out, thank you so much. If you're watching this later on the YouTubes, thanks so much. If you want to watch the next one live, twitch.tv/RealPixels, where you can do that. If you want to stay up to date with us, patreon.com/RealPixels is the best place. It's 100% free. It lets you know when we go live on Twitch, where our YouTube VODs are, where the audio version of this podcast is, links to get it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all that good stuff. P.S. We need more Stokes in our lives, says Cole.
Thank you.
Well, we might get 2 streams with Stokes.
How do you
this week,
suggest it?
So,
yeah.
I was going to say we might get a Thursday and a Saturday stream with Stokes, so we're getting more Stokes this week, possibly, if everything works out. So, Cole.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
You don't want me near Elden Ring, though?
Yeah, no.
I don't think. You want me at the distance I am, which is viewing.
Yep. So, but until, I was going to go until next time, it's been real. But that's not how we sign off this show. This show, we sign off a little different. We say, sweet dreams, and we'll see you for breakfast.